I don't
It
see
is
that
a
as being
retort
valid.
only to criticism or what I do at a fundamental level. I'm not saying that this deflects against all criticism I get, only that I get a lot of criticism simply for doing the type of thing that I do, by being contentious, by engaging with the right. That's something that needs to happen. It's not a deflector for all criticism, but fundamentally, this is a necessary component of this space for the sake of everyone.
I mean, yeah. Again, like I didn't make this clear, but I agree with that. I think like there are certain debate people. We could talk about Destiny, I guess. Not really. I don't want to, but that are like have gone kind of off the rails in that regard. But in terms of
Just a
people
little
that
bit,
are,
yeah.
I should have just did a fucking video about Destiny. Actually, no. I'm so like I'm glad I made the video I did because I expressed the feelings that I had towards the situation. And you can disagree, and that's fine. But that was my experience of how things happen. But ultimately, like in order to move forward from this with some sort of uh, positive impact, I just want to maintain that um, what you do is important. But now that we are in a place where these other spaces are being fostered online that are more diverse, that are more like you say, sort of inclusive and safer. I think like if you want those spaces to foster, you kind of got to extend the hand in that regard and understand why people take issue, even if you don't agree. It's like there are different levels of there are different places along the line that this conversation could be had. You could be fighting with Nazis further to the right, and then further to the left, talking about different issues that are completely divorced from, let's say, American politics. And we should have both of those. But I just think like um, the problems arise when the communication between those 2 points on the spectrum create conflict. Kind of like the one that I experienced, where I saw like how this rhetoric jumping immediately to like hypotheticals about white genocide was being perceived from people that I know and appreciate and who are occupying a different place than you. So do you see what I'm saying about like moving forward with a greater cognizance to the fact that this landscape is changing, while also obviously you do your thing, you do your shit where you do the get the guys real good, but in the fact that there are other spaces and this space is changing and becoming more inclusive, like do you agree that that's something we should kind of foster?
Of course. But they have to be right. And they can criticize me all they want, but they have to be right. And they're not. This isn't a two-way conversation, right? I mean, I don't go after these channels. Usually the attacks are done against me or against my category, the debate bro. And usually when people say debate bro, they just mean me. Usually that's like kind of the direct assumption.
Oh yeah, it's you. No
Yeah,
offense
yeah,
to
yeah.
Tanner Hall, but you're the big
No,
guy.
well,
So
yeah, just proportional size, yeah. But those attacks, they come pretty unprompted. Do you have any idea how many times I've only learned a content creator existed because my people are telling me that they made a video criticizing me? God, I probably would lose count if I had them in front of me. It happens all the time. I don't I don't care if they have their echo chambers and their safer spaces. They don't have to debate, but they have to be right because their weakness is the left's weakness. If they're wrong about something, they're teaching people to be wrong. And those people who are taught to be wrong are going to go on and fuck things up on their own.
yeah,
If
I mean,
they
I agree.
want to
Real
criticize
quick,
me, yeah?
go ahead. Sorry, you finish what you're saying.
I only want to say if people have disagreements with me, they can always email me. They can always talk to me on stream. Hell, they could email me and not talk to me on stream. I understand the implications associated with being brought onto my platform in all directions. So my goal here isn't to say, oh, you disagree, come into the Thunderdome. Like, they can email me, but I do wish people would stop accusing me of not understanding why other people are mad. I understand, they're just wrong. And they're wrong in the same way over and over again because a lot of their presumptions are based on this massive tidal wave of pre-existing assumptions that get mischaracterized and reinterpreted, and eventually everyone's mad at me over a collection of information that doesn't actually directly correspond to anything I've done. It's just kind of an impression. I feel like Anita Sarkeesian sometimes, except the harassment that I get is from the left. You know how Anita... Oh, no, you weren't around for the Gamergate days. You know,
I know the story.
people would criticize her for shit she never did or said. It was like there was a complete detachment between people who hated Anit Sarkeesian and any of the shit she said or believed. It was like this wild thing. And I see all the time online. People have a distant relationship with reality sometimes when they criticize me. And with respect, I think that your relationship with reality, it would be charitable to call it distant with regards to your perspective on Professor Flowers and what she meant by her language. I mean, that wouldn't be distant. That would be, you know, there would be some relativistic problems with trying to cross that space in anything less than a lifetime. But in a space like that, you know, I can only have the conversations that I can have. People can come on, they can email me if they want to disagree or whatever, but I will continue to be as I am forever. In the absence of a person who feels they're capable of giving me that argument, you know?
There you
Yeah,
are, you
so,
fucking vendor. Why
I guess,
weren't you
like,
on the map, bro?
As we're coming to a close, a question I had was like, have there been times in the past where people have criticized you
Give me that.
in a manner that made you change your mind about things? I mean, I'm sure there are some, but are there any like prominent examples that you can think of?
Mm-hmm. STV Philly is the most recent example who got me to change the way in which I was talking about Ibram X. Kendi, which was borderline reactionary, or at least highly reactive. Oh God, BAP? Was it BAP? Chat? Help me.
Wait, so what were you saying about Ibram X. Kendi? Or just like so I can
BAM,
understand
thank you.
context.
Ibram X. Kendi had a very smooth-brained take one time, which is a human thing. We all do that. But in a sort of performative debate bro-esque sense, I was tearing him apart as though everything that he said was really stupid, which was uncharitable. Normally I give people leeway, especially when I only know about them from one take, but on the day that I was going over Ibram X. Kendi's thing, I was very condescending about it, which was just not warranted. So I think that was a fair criticism. I've gotten fair criticism from, BAM.
All right, we're getting the cosmetics.
It was a really good conversation that I was quite fond of, which I think reframed my perspective on reparations to black people. I moved over massively on xenogender and neopronouns. I used to be pretty against those things. That was mostly because of Demon Mama and Doe, two very gay gays. I didn't argue with them directly, but sort of proximity to their shit made me own up to changes in my perspective that have been brought about. There are other examples. I admit I don't change my mind on stuff that often because, well, I think I have a decent number of things figured out. But usually when I find I've been German election data, Die Linke. That's right. We had 3 arrows on to talk about that, and then Adam something came on to talk about 3 arrows, and they disagreed. But you know, I just was listening to Europeans talk. Yes, Die Linke. Yes, of course that. No, there's more. Hold on, I'm scrolling through chat. Chat has a better memory than I do. Well, I did change my mind on the black nationalism, black separatism stuff. But that was a while ago. That was like that was almost a semantic change, not so much like an ideological shift. Black? No, I said black. Oh, kink and pride.
What the
no,
fuck?
Yeah, I'll take it. There are examples. There are examples. I will say though, when I have changed my mind on stuff, it has exclusively been from people whose minds
shit's gonna
are
crash.
unclouded by the general seething contempt a lot of people in the online left have towards me. And I don't think that's because I'm defensive when confronted by those people. I think it's because those people tend to have worse arguments because they don't even know what it is they're criticizing. They criticize things they've been told I believe rather than things I actually believe.
Okay, well that's good. That's a good list.
Oh, the GameStop thing, the GameStop stock. That's right. Well, that was like a technical thing. I brought on like a technical expert. Yeah.
They got you to invest or what?
No. No, I had an unfoundedly populist take on it to begin with. Yeah, no, there was some other stuff. Yeah,
Was there anything in my video that merited any sort of any sort of thinking about? Were any of the points landing in anywhere? I guess that's like a good question to ask.
for me, when I think of the value I derive, it's in the line of how can I best confront these talking points more so than how can I best learn from them. It's not that where you're coming from isn't valid. You're being motivated, I believe, again, you can say or not, it doesn't matter. I believe by empathy, when most of the time people are motivated by contempt. And I think that's quite good. It's different from what I'm used to, and it's the only reason why this conversation is a whole lot worse. But in terms of like how to grow from it, I don't know. I feel like my arm has been held out for a while. I don't know if anyone's gonna make a do an olive branch bit. I think it's.
Did you? We mentioned it before, but did you? You said you watched President Sunday's video, and President Sunday, he's like a small YouTuber.
Right. He's in chat right now. Yeah, the first video.
Yeah.
Not the.
Did you? So you disagreed with that? Did you ever watch that on? Or I guess you said you didn't, but did you ever? Or what was your reason for disagreeing? Because I thought his points were pretty good, and he, he talked with Professor Flowers at length about her views. And again, like, I guess you could say, like, you can't expect everyone to need to clarify things or whatever.
Yeah,
but
everybody
you disagreed
left.
with President Sunday's
Shit.
video. I thought it was really good. Was there a
The
reason
whole town
that
is just
you
abandoned.
came up with the?
Well, I don't think I've
six in
seen.
mind.
I think President Sunday has another newer thing that I haven't seen, or I could be mistaken. I watched the first thing that got brought out to that effect. I haven't seen.
I think both videos are pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. So it's two. Just making sure. Yeah. I need to watch both of them
I
because
don't know if he
do.
wants you to watch them.
Oh,
on
I gotta
stream, but,
shit.
I recommend. So.
It is difficult to watch videos on stream without responding to them in a manner which
Oh, of course.
conveys antagonism. I think ultimately the critical issue here is one of charitability. I've argued with so many far-right people that to me the idea of a person clumsily dog whistling, accidentally letting the mask slip and then pulling back away and hiding behind euphemism or like retreating from points, this to me is like a coin flip in a convo. Do they do it or do they not? 50-50. It happens all the time. To other people, it seems like this is an exceptional kind of behavior. I imagine it would be exceptional in some spaces, but online politics has rotted my perspective on people's positive tendencies somewhat. I think that Professor Flowers is, in so many more ways than I could ever describe, kind of like a Nazi, in the sense that when I debate Nazis, they can't be upfront about their perspectives because when they are, things like come off really bad. Even the Nazis weren't honest. You can go watch the documentation that Nazis put out. Nazis weren't honest about what Nazis believed, even to other Nazis. They lied to themselves. They were like, oh, we don't actually want this thing. We just want to do this adjacent thing through which implications can be derived, which lead to the second outcome. They do that all the time. It's so coded into their behavior that I legitimately think that to them, they would have to make an effort to be honest the way that you or I would have to make an effort to deliberately lie to mislead somebody.
Find
It's so
all
coded into their
cosmetic
behavior,
items.
The irony that you use to
Maybe there's something
run
I
away
didn't
from
buy
points
here
of
in
avoid
Black Almas.
accountability, or the outright
Visited
dishonesty,
every
or even
trader.
the codified dishonesty you're not fully aware of. It gets so ingrained that eventually you don't know what you believe anymore. If you've ever talked to a person from 4chan's pull board who's just been there long enough to have their brain rot off completely, that is the epitome of pull. People who believe terrible things, but genuinely don't know whether or not they're being serious when they post them. And I don't think that Professor Flowers is that bad, but I do
Alright, so I
think that
bought
she has a
all
lot
the-
of unexamined biases that feel like I'm being uncharitable when I'm looking to see them clarified. It's a little like Autism Speaks. Autism Speaks is a eugenics organization. The framing
Find
they
all
use
cosmetic
when they talk about
items.
autistic people is that they're a burden and that methods should be brought about to remove their burdensome tendencies. But if you actually talk with a person from Autism Speaks or look at the language they use, they will never say that they're in favor of eugenics. They'll never own up to that. And they probably...
Alright, shit. It's coming.
deeply believe that, too. They probably genuinely believe that, just like there are a lot of people on the right who believe that opposing critical race theory in schools isn't the same as just not wanting about slavery to be taught. But it is, in a lot of cases. So, I don't think Professor Flowers is an essentially bad person, because I don't believe in essentially bad people. I see in her many of the characteristics that I see in the alt-writers that I'm often attributed as a prime de-radicalizer of. An inability to cope with the severity of their sincere points, so they deflect behind adjacent flowery, pun, rhetoric.
Nice.
Thank you. The language of decolonization to mask the more sinister prescription. Or, as the Nazis did, not decolonization, but the language of national revitalization, which they used to get away with, well, not get away with, we bombed them, which they used to pretend that they would get away with a lot of really bad things. That's what I think. So this isn't some like massive hate derision thing or whatever. The Professor Flower stuff comes up a lot specifically because it feels like it's so indicative of adjacent issues. But I worry when I see this because I don't know about you, Noah, or about other people on the online left. Are you just unaware, or are you in on the dog whistle? I don't know. I don't think you are. I think a lot of people online are in on it, and they kind of know what Professor Flowers is about, and they don't really care. They just think that's leftism, you know? And I guess I just hope that doesn't become representative of the online left broadly. I don't think it will. I think it's a very vocal minority that is supported by people who mostly dislike me, and that motivates a lot of their behavior, but, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I fundamentally disagree with the characterization that has been made of her, given her videos, given her claims. I don't think that adds up. And so I think that is, I guess, the third option. It's not just that either you're down with the dog whistles or you're, or you actually just don't know about like the history of this rhetoric. But I think like it's mischaracterized, and it's mischaracterized in a way that just it kind of ignores like the other side of the historical context of like what she talked about. And again, like we've already disagreed. I don't want to rehash it, but I agree. Like
Burning sun, Paul.
I understand where you're coming from when you are perceiving people as attacking you in that regard unfairly. But again, like that's just fundamentally, I don't think we're gonna change on that point. But I thought President Sunday's video was really good. If you're in the chat, I recommend you go watch it.
I value President Sunday's perspectives. He's a smart guy, even though I disagree with him sometimes.
For sure.
Yeah. I have two asks, if I may. No, you don't have to do anything that I ask of you. First is Milo Stewart put out a video some time ago discussing the harassment they got during Gamergate. It's a really interesting video, and it's a good way of I think fully contextualizing how bad things have been. The harassment that I am now unique in receiving used to be just the flatline level of harassment that people would get if they were queer or feminists on the internet. We have broken remarkable ground in that I am now exceptional in receiving death threats as opposed to just another leftist on YouTube. And Milo's video does a great job at putting that forward. Also, I would ask, if you want, the video, if you didn't watch all of it, between myself and that indigenous activist, contains a great many critiques from the indigenous activist, who is, if I've done my math correctly, one tier higher on the woke scale than Professor Flowers. So for that reason, her criticisms of Flowers, I think, should be, salient, I think. I don't know if it's just me delivering them, but I am consistently surprised by how unwilling people are to interpret her speech in a way I think is reasonable. But either way, at least watch the Milo video. I do appreciate you coming on. Obviously, all of this is framed by antagonism, but I do genuinely value these conversations, and I'm glad that this one gets to end with goodbyes instead of with anyone rage quitting.
I agree. I'll check out those videos. My reverse recommendation to the audience is President Sunday's video, and mine as well. Make sure to join my Patreon. Just kidding. But no, I mean, like I said, I think like I just want to move forward in a manner that at least levies the perspective of the other side and hopefully causes some conversations to happen in between where things can improve. So that's just my final statement. But yeah, thanks for having me on.
The pleasure's mine. I'm sorry the camera didn't work.
Invisible
out, but I know
walls,
Elias
god
is here,
fucking damn it.
unreliable. You take care, okay?
Yeah, you too, please.
Peace. Well, I feel like I did about as good of a job there as I could have, all things considered. I'm happy with the way that I framed my points. Obviously, I have some severe disagreements with them, but... oh, and I have a headache, too. But yeah, I think we cross. Yeah. Well, it's not a winning thing, you know. I understand, of course, the really hard not to be pissed off right now. I understand. It's not. I really do think that Noah is a nice guy who's swimming in an ocean of contempt towards me, and that's always going to color people's perspectives towards others. But I genuinely don't think he's motivated by malice or dishonesty. If anyone felt like I came off as
I thought I fully explored this
condescending in that
area.
conversation,
Goddamn, always
that
missing
is
one
undeniably
goddamn
true.
thing.
I thought it would be a preferable substitute for rage. So, you know, this is very much a lesser evil dealio. You know, a lot of the content in that
Up here.
video, under most circumstances, I would have gone
Yep.
pretty nuclear. But I think that I was very good faith and straightforward. Sounding like he was a coward who wouldn't
Yep.
argue any of his points. He literally clip chimped
Fucking
you as being
bitch.
a pedo and a racist in his last vid. Oh, I get clip chimped all the time. you know?
Buckler. Ugly ass cosmetic.
It's an unavoidable fact of living as Vouch.
I have a
However,
lost night of Bestinger.
you know, all of that stuff, you know, acknowledged. Excuse me. I can't fault him. Not entirely, at least, for being a bit wobbly in some of the points, because
Oh,
I'm
lost
me.
night.
Again, I understand this comes off as remarkably self-absorbed, but it is, as you've probably noticed from the hundreds of people I've had on who acknowledge this fact, a little intimidating to just hop on a stream with like 10,000 people to
Cover.
explain how you disagree with the person whose job it is
Helmet
to be
of
good at
a
disagreeing with
lost
people.
knight.
That's not even a
Okay,
me
then the
thing. That's
helmet of a knight
just a
of the
human.
Stinger.
Like yeah, it's just a skill set thing.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyway, I hope some of this stuff didn't come
Helmet
off
of
as
an
too
old knight.
conceited. Obviously, I was venting a little bit of adjacent frustration there. You know, like how my being frustrated at how the left treats me. But I really do think Xanderhall is correct on this one, that the online left is growing into a state where it is actively rejecting the systems that were constructed as a way of preventing the situation, the Gamergate tier environment, you know, from arising again. Well, thank you, my cheese. Well, of course, President Sunday. Yes, the Milo video is very good.
Helmet of a knight of old.
You doing the
Oh,
stream
yeah, I
next
got
good
that.
times thing was kind of eh. I think in this
Interesting
case it's
shield,
actually fairly
eternal
applicable
sun.
because we're not talking about civilizational downfall. We're just talking about like online YouTube stuff. But would you guys believe me if I told you that you could tell very easily whether or not a person in the online left was present from the 2011 to 2016 era? Because you can tell. You can tell, like, pretty easily. You can fucking tell. You can tell. And I'm often pretty popular with a lot of the people who are more aware of the Gamergate tier stuff because I think they know what the alternative is, right? This isn't just a me being cool thing. This is just it's a lightning rod deal. You know? I'll give you an example right now as an addendum to this because I meant to talk about this stream, but now I'm going to have to talk about it tomorrow. And it's important to talk about, but I'll bring it up right now to an audience just so you all know what I'm talking about. Matt Walsh created a fake documentary in order to trick trans people into joining up with it.
There we go.
This is a real thing. Okay? So Matt Walsh, you know, not the wokest guy, it's
Iron
been said.
Mask.
Many people claim.
Lothville Flower.
The work was done here by Eli Ehrlich,
Hawk.
who this gender unity project thing was actually like a fake
Rays of the
documentary,
Sun,
bringing people out,
Chest
bringing trans people out to interview them. This is all being done by the
Majestic
producer for
Shield,
Matt Walsh.
Knights of the
This is
Bastinger.
definitely some like, you know, let's get the cringiest trans people out here and ask them like difficult questions and then edit it in a deceptive manner. There's no other reason they would be doing this.
Owl chest plate. I do not have that.
I need to be the person who they go after. You understand? I need to be the rock. That's the
I didn't do
point.
that?
That's the whole point, okay? When they bring people on Dr. Phil to argue with Matt Walsh, you need the rock. You need Dwayne Johnson, okay? When you have college students who are attending a Ben Shapiro speech,
Oh shit! I
you
didn't do
need
that.
the
What the
rock.
fuck?
The
Oh,
right
'cause the
has
game
rock. Do you
crashed, it
think
deleted
every
my
person in the
progress.
conservative right is capable of contentious engagement to defend their points? No. What are you joking? Absolutely not. Jesus. But they have people who can do that, and they absorb the fire. They're the lightning rod. You need the lightning rods. A ton of people in the online right, you know what they talk about? They talk about me. Very interesting guy to them, okay? Now here's a question. Do you think that if I were to just delete
Make
my
sure
channel,
double save.
let's say Xander Hall and, you know, as well, you know, the wall, right? If we were all to delete our channels, do you think then the right would simply give up on reacting to left-leaning content online? You think they'd be like, oh, well, you know, now that they're not anymore, I guess we're done with that particular incredibly lucrative, extremely attractive form of content that has historically driven tens of millions of views to channels like Ben Shapiro. They're gonna go after everyone else. Because the nice thing about being
I
known
gotta
as
see
a
what's up with
debate
the
lord
FD
is that when
signifier
they
shit.
go after other people on the left, the response from their audience is to get me. Look at the comment sections underneath conservative videos where they target other people. Their audiences want me. They want them to take down me. They want me on there because I'm the guy they hate. So naturally, as a product of my lightning rod construction, I attract the derision. That's the whole point. Now, I'm not asking that like people on the left go crazy over me for this because, guys, I make a fuck ton of money and I have a dream job, okay? This isn't like a pity party. I'm asking them to not attack me from behind when I do it. That's it. That is it. That's it. That's the only thing that I ask. It's always people who could not stand an interview with a hostile interviewer who think there's no value to teaching people to be able to do that. It's not enough to me that you guys have the right political positions, okay? I hope you do. You should. But that's not enough. You need to be good at bringing them to other people in your
I
life.
searched the
Your
entire
parents,
wall
they
except
don't
this
accept your
tiny
gender
little
identity,
corner.
your
God damn it.
sexuality. Your classmates.
I'm always
who
missing
hear the
one
casual
goddamn
repeating
thing.
white supremacist rhetoric. Your coworkers, if they're dipshits. It's not enough to be right. Other people have to be made right. You can't just be the lone correct person. Every person on the left is supposed to be a contact point for other people to be a part of the left. You understand that, right? I don't understand this complacency, this belief that it's sufficient for people to simply have their space and be right. That's not how you win anything. You don't win anything like that. You get people
Tail
who already
whipper.
agree with you. There's nothing wrong if you don't want to be some, you know, valorous debate bro. That's fine. Do what you want, but you should be able to handle yourself. Oh, God, Vermin, yes. Would love to order food. You guys got a big stream today. I'm not done talking either. I'm not done talking. I don't think
Grab it!
Noah
Thank God.
is a bad person, you know? And maybe, you know, the perception of spinelessness is present here, but in comparison to me, a person who doubles and triples down so much, so often on every point that I've ever made, anyone would look spineless, you know? Fucking Destiny looks spineless next to me with how often he's retreated from points. Find me a person who looks more spined. So that's a comparison thing.
Yeah, they're making
I
this
think
one
that
extra
Noah
hard.
Has a really good sense
To get
of
that
humor.
loot
I
in
really
my
do
achievement.
believe that. It's not necessarily
that
my
mouth.
sense of humor, you know, like it's not the style that I would necessarily
Yes.
like, but I think it's good, and I
Yeah,
think
9
it's
out of 5
really
completed.
engaging
What the
because it
fuck?
draws a large
I thought I
audience.
completed all of them
Humor is a
already. That's
vector
why, too.
By which you can bring other people to your positions.
Great.
Humor
Even the
is
achievement
the
system
honest
isn't,
dog whistle,
isn't
because it allows
programmed
you
right.
To express a position
Kill 50
indirectly
wraiths by
without
shattering
ever
them.
misleading anyone.
I think I could do that
Simply a
out
part of the
here.
joke. Of course, it must
Should be
be
ton of
followed
wraiths
through
flying
with
around.
a complete acknowledgement of
Oh,
the
there's
position.
dickhead up
that you
here.
made
I'm
a
not gonna
joke
fight him,
about,
fucking
which Noah
flying
Samson
asshole.
does. Noah Samson doesn't dog whistle. Noah Samson is forthcoming about his political positions, and I think that's a good thing. What Noah Samson
kill this guy
does
with a-
is valuable. The ability to present that information in a way which appeals to people who are maybe just looking for ooh-woo bisexual lighting soft boys, making, you know, TikTok meme references, that is valuable. I'm not asking that Noah Samson be a debate warrior or whatever. I just feel like there's so much unwarranted derision that comes our way. Our way. Xander Hall too. Xander Hall gets so much undeserved shit. I don't agree with Xander Hall and everything. Fucking who cares? Whatever. Xander does good work.
No wraiths.
I like what Xander
Would
does.
love to
And
fight
Demon Mama.
some.
And Demon Mama does. I don't think Demon Mama gets
Fucking
well.
empty
Demon
out
Mama
here,
gets all the shit
Jesus.
from Destiny's community. Zan gets all the shit from like other left adjacent communities. You know, there are a lot of excellent people on the left who I like. I'm talking mostly about the debate bro stuff. Or in
Why don't they
people who
just
debate
spawn like in
but,
Souls games?
It's,
Like they don't want
the
you to
only thing I'm
cheat
trying
and
to
get
about
too
here
much
is that, like,
essence, and they don't want you to farm too many materials. They want you to play nice and slow.
diversity of tactics is a principle you have to make sacrifices for. I cannot, in human language, express the sheer contempt I feel for so many people on the left. I despise you. I really do. How could I not with all the hate that I've got? But I get up every morning, I sit down here, and I don't tear apart the frameworks that allow for people with different methods of conveying their opinion because I'm mad over it. If I dislike people, I attack those
No
people for the
fucking
positions
wraiths.
that I dislike
Great.
them over for the behavior they've exhibited. I don't attack video essayists.
Whatever. Let's kill this asshole.
If you dislike me, you know, that's fine. That's fine. Seriously, millions of people do. Maybe millions, actually, with my search numbers. Yeah, maybe. A lot of people, at the very least. That's fine. You're in a large crowd. Go for it. More people dislike me than like me, of people who are aware of me. Trillions. Quadrillions. So many haters. But I promise you, the people who dislike me, the feelings they have towards me are a tiny, just an infinitesimally small fraction of the seething hatred that I feel for the online left as a broad institution. You're spread out across so many hundreds of thousands of people. I'm one guy. And it's all in here. You have no fucking idea the extent of my contempt. You could not fucking fathom.
God damn it.
But that contempt does not justify an attack against the categorical methods, mediums associated with people I don't like. You think I like video essayists as a category? I like video essays. Video
God damn, all these fucking
as a
momentum
group
killers.
are
Jesus
smarmy,
Christ.
condescending, pseudo-intellectual
Come
fucks
on.
who will lose any direct conversational disagreement because they don't have a script in front of them and 6 months to edit a video.
And
but
of
then they
course,
give
not
them
enough
15
shatter
minutes.
for
Okay?
not
Don't
enough
get me wrong, I
momentum
like
for a
some
shatter kill.
video essays. You know,
What are all these fucking
we're
flying
all
guys, man? Give me some
contrasims.
ground
Don't get me
enemies to
wrong,
fight.
you know, we're not backing
Jesus
off
fuck.
the contrasimpage here. No, there are plenty of video essays that I like, but there are problems with the group. But I don't go out there tweeting about how video essayists are ruining the left. But I have to deal with it. Jesus. No, yes. There were so guys. Seriously, I play Final Fantasy 14 off stream, and I literally just listen to video essays the entire time.
Fucking no mobs. So once I kill them, they're just gone.
The broader patterns.
What the fuck is this?
I'm complaining about here. God, my head hurts.
Just regular dipshits.
But after I debated Tim Pool. Or sorry, after I debated Charlie Kirk on Tim Pool's platform. There we go. After I had that debate, you know, I came away from that debate feeling pretty good. Because I rocked the house. But one of the first things I had to deal with was the Behind the Bastards guy getting 10,000 likes on a tweet, quote tweeting the viral trending tags associated with that debate, saying that debate is worthless and what I do is worthless. Robert Evans, that's right. Like, why? Can anyone find that tweet? Like, why? Like, if I bombed, then sure, but he didn't watch it. Guarantee you he didn't watch it.
Fucking nothing
great. He just
great.
saw the trending tweets, and he was like, nah, you know? He didn't watch it. No fucking respect. I respect what he does. Oh yeah, thank you. 2 people at once. But I'll click any's because I like it. Yeah, here we go.
No wraiths in this entire fucking swamp.
See?
Jesus
There we go.
Lord.
There's me on the thing. 9,000 likes. Debating the far right is dumb. Debate is useless as a method for discovering truth. I won awards in it as a kid.
Like, what the fuck do you want me to fight?
And fucking debate.
How do you want me to,
We'll test
trophy,
your credentials.
achievement
I've never
hunt?
won an award. Still, somehow I feel like I'm overqualified.
This is what the
It teaches
fuck.
you how to bulldoze people with words, how to force your point through with trickery. That's why grifters love it. He tweeted some more too. He said that he has an exception for debaters that he doesn't like. He likes Sam Cedar.
God damn it.
Just so you
Speed
know,
boost right into a fucking
I
sand
know it's
hole.
me. How many debate people
Quicksand.
are on the left exactly? When people say debate bros, and then they talk about me, like there are like 5 people you know who do debates, and I'm larger than all of them put together. Like you're just talk about me. Don't attack the medium. The medium is valuable. If you hate me, then fucking do that. Or Destiny. They can be attacking Destiny as well. That's true. He's growing farther from the left every progressive day, but you know, it's whatever. That was the first thing that I saw afterwards. Now, again, given the size of my platform, one guy on Twitter getting a lot of likes on a tweet criticizing me isn't going to like ruin my day, and it didn't. You know, I was fine. I bought a bunch of junk food afterwards because, like, I'm not gonna eat real food after debating Charlie Kirk. You fucking kidding me? I'm gonna eat Reese's.
Did I
peanut
see an
butter
enemy
cups.
marker?
Get out of here.
It's a fucking flying guy.
You know, and I had a good time. And I reviewed people's clips, and it's like, oh, I felt I did well here. Oh, I could have done better here. You know, I look over it. Yeah, I try to improve my craft. But I will never be given a fucking ounce of credit from the people who dislike me. I can do no right in their eyes. I can't even be like, take Bad Empanada. Bad Empanada
Thank
is
God.
a lunatic. But his video on Columbus is good. It is. Very well researched. Extremely well researched. Worth watching. The guy's a lunatic. But I can't get that. They can't be like, oh, I dislike Bosch, but, you know, the fact that he is apparently such a threat to the right that he occupies all the space in the brain and constantly, you know, gets like progressive positions out. He recently went on Michaela Peterson's podcast to talk about critical race theory next to James Lindsay, you know? I'm going to travel. We have travel coming up. Libertarian Party conventions. Politicon wants COVID fucking ends. There's so much shit that I get to do, but I never get credit for it. They can never go, oh, okay, you know, maybe Vosh is like a shit. Maybe he's a piece of shit, whatever. This thing he did was good. Because I am so fucking dehumanized in the eyes of these people. I am so incapable, categorically, as a moral proprietor, of doing anything right, that it's not even about criticizing what I do, it's criticizing the fact that I'm here. If you want a consistent tendency to be identified in the behavior of people online who dislike me, that's it. They don't dislike things that I say, they don't dislike things that I do, they dislike the fact that I'm here. That's the only thing they say. It's never about changing my mind. or disagreeing with a particular point. And it's never about educating people out of the points that I've taught them, because that would involve engaging the stuff that I've said. It's always this seething derision towards the fact that I continue to exist despite their hate. Which I always will. If anyone's reading this as some kind of, defeated why I'm leaving the left thing, I'm going to be in the left until I die, motherfuckers. I'm never leaving this space. You'll never get rid of me. So it's way too much fun. You think you can stop me? Or you think, I'm sure there are some people watching right now and they're like, oh, he seems so defeated. No, I just have a headache, okay? I have a headache and I've streamed for 4 hours longer than I expected. Whatever. Jesus Christ. Well, you think the left is a concept, socialism, progressivism, is so paltry a thing that it should be avoided because of what people online are meant to you? See that a lot too. Does anyone else feel like other people project when they talk about me, like pushing people out of the left? Isn't it them threatening to leave the left if I'm what the left looks like? It's the feeling that I get, isn't it? I'm not trying to push anyone out of the left, like critique points that I disagree with, and people are like, hand-wringing. Oh, well, this is what the left comes to look like. Bro, if you want to leave the left, that's on you, okay? Don't fucking put that on me. Leave the left. Jesus Christ. They project that on me too. They're like, well, Vasha's gonna leave the left. Yeah, well, no. What indication? Give me an indication. What have I done? Huh? I love this shit. I love this shit. You could never even begin. You have no idea how cool it is. The cost of service is the harassment, but it's worth it.
Are you fucking kidding me? It
Rather not
didn't
get the
kill him.
harassment,
Come
but it's
on.
still worth it. Speaking of, from FD Signifier.
Yeah, spawn some
What
enemies.
up,
I need
Noah?
that
Well, I was
shatter.
talking to Noah.
Come on, bro. I need it.
It's not video essayists versus
I need my
debate bros.
achievement.
It's not leftist infighting. It's a few dudes, their clones, and portions of their fan base. They are not the left. I'm not the left. We're all entertainers with leftist content. They're just clowns and a lot of people are tired of it. That's it. Now, will FD... Now, of course, we can't say my name directly, even though I'm obviously who's being referred to here, because I am literally Voldemort to these people. But do you think FD Signifier is ever going to meaningfully address and critique a point that I've made, or is this just going to remain, as it always has been from most anyone, a vague denunciation based off an amalgam of semi-coherent criticisms that at this point have taken a life of their own? I have no respect for any of you people. You're all so lucky. You're so lucky that the online
God
left
damn
is
it!
gracious.
Can't see.
enough to
I
allow
can
your
barely
bad
see the red
opinions.
flashes and all this fucking red
You are
smoke.
so fortunate.
God damn it, man!
Incredible.
Fuck.
You're like the snot-nosed dipshit who gets to not have their ass beaten within an inch of their life because we've invented law when everyone wants to, you know? It's like a person who's playing I'm not touching you. You know what I mean? Only the thinnest veil of civility protects
I'm not doing
them.
that
And
shit,
I'm glad
man.
you have it. I'm glad they have it. I'm glad they have that civility.
Whatever.
I am. A strong left, a good, strong online left, should be so powerful
Alright,
that it can
what achievements do I
sustain
have left?
people with bad opinions who can't
Stay in the air
defend
for 60 seconds in one go.
But there's a pretty big difference between it being a good thing that they can be sustained and saying it's good to sustain them. Those are two very, very, very different things. FD Signifier is, of course, free to talk with me at any point, but I sincerely doubt that'll happen, even though the only conversation that I've ever had pertaining to him was today, and I think I briefly talked about a couple of minutes of a video that he did at one point where he said things that I disagreed with, but that I then acknowledged that I was only watching a small part of it, and then I encouraged all of you to watch the rest of the video. Not a kindness other people afford me, but the people who I respect are the people who don't dirty their hands, you know? Contra, H-Bomber guy, They really don't engage, not directly. Contra is so drama-averse that she deletes her tweets 3 nanoseconds after she realizes not every single person in her audience will agree with them. They don't really engage. And it makes me worry, too. Is it just a coincidence that the people who I don't think are morons are also the people who don't engage in the medium that would allow me to see if they're morons? If Contra or H-Bomb were just a little bit more prone to drama mongering, would I think they're morons too? Is it just me? Am I alone on this island surrounded by hundreds of thousands of fans? Are we a group of people with the population of a United State alone? Coconut Island is apparently the size of Minnesota, I guess, with how many people it's containing within it now. I do feel a little bit alone, though. A product of their unwillingness to engage in drama is that, not that I would ever expect to get it, by the way, but I can't expect, like, a clout bailout from larger figures. Sometimes that happens for other people, right? Like, I've done that to smaller creators when I felt like they were getting a bad rap and I could just swoop in and go like, oh, no. Remember with Doe? Doe was having, I imagine, quite a frustrating, engagement. No, Merrick, it's not a brag thing. It's just a function of having a large channel, right? But that'll never happen to me. It can't happen to me. Obviously, I'm close enough to the top that the only few people larger than me in the online left space I know won't do it. So it's pretty much, we're out on our own here. And so many people in the online left are so contentious, so difficult to talk to. In terms of content creators, there are many that I like. Eric, you don't fight for me.
Tailguarder, come on.
Don't be ridiculous. There are a lot of people who I quite like, but I guess I always imagined. By the way, proportional to the size of her platform, Merrick gets significantly more harassment than I do. So you guys need to defend her any chance you get. And of course, the people who harass Merrick will get platformed by these anti-harassment types. Apparently, Noah signal boosted a person who was incredibly harassing towards Merrick. And I know people who are so contemptuously hateful that they're like borderline like post-docs, complete nudes type shit. That nobody complains about it. They complain about people like me, or I guess like Merrick for the crime. Well, Merrick did do 9/11, so. I guess what I'm trying to get at is this, okay? This is what I'm trying to do. I'm obviously at this point, I'm just complaining. These are my thoughts. They're authentic. You're getting the authenticity. A thing that bugs me is I have known for my entire life that I am not the easiest person to get along with, because in person I'm pretty similar to how I am online. I'm opinionated and loud, and that's fine. That's completely fine. That's not like a, oh, whoa, the world has abandoned me. That is a consequence of my personality, and I am fine with that. But interpersonal interactions in a one-to-one scope are not the thing that I hyperfixated on. See, I have autism, and I wasn't very great at socializing. I'm still not. But there's a skill adjacent to socializing that I got really good at because it was fun. And that was public speaking.
Fucking
really
nothing.
I can do it here, and I can do it in
Love
public.
nothing.
Anyone
Post
who
a
took any
game, nothing to
classes in
do.
School would know that I took every possible
All monsters
opportunity
defeated.
to do, and to present the information to the
Wait
class.
every
I loved
15
it.
minutes
I have
for
no
a
anxiety whatsoever
generic
with public
spawn.
speaking. None whatsoever. When other people talk about the anxiety they feel, the fear of public speaking, it is
Man.
an alien thought to me. It is entirely detached from how I
I
feel.
wish they would at least give like a
I
challenge
love
mode so I can get my fucking achievements.
And what I did there, this is a neurodivergent thing.
Stay in the
Autistic
air
people
for
will
60
often
seconds in
hyperfixate on
one
certain skill
go.
sets to compensate for
I'm gonna
things
start
they're
a new
not
game and do
innately
that. Let me
good
hit
at.
a.
In this case, being really good at public speaking is
'Cause I don't have
a
any
way
altars
of
here.
compensating for an inability to socialize.
There are
in
no
respects.
fucking
So
hammers.
interpersonally, I'm
Jesus
still
Lord.
sometimes fairly awkward.
Literally have to go
unless
until
I'm
all the way
debating,
at the
in which
beginning of
case
the
that's
fucking
also a
game.
form
The
of
map.
skill, but you shouldn't be debating people in your
Oh,
day-to-day life. That's
3/4 of the
not
way
what to do.
through the map to get a
You know, that's
anvil.
also a very select skill. But I got good at it. I loved Love
And in the
doing it.
meantime,
And
in between the
I've never
anvils,
really
you can
talked to you
skate and
guys
look at nothing.
about all the positive
Fight
attention
nothing,
and
do nothing.
accolades I got for
Just nothing. What's
for,
here?
my public
Nothing.
speaking skills, you know, because to talk about it to its full extent would come off as incredibly
Fucking
conceited.
annoying ass bird. I don't want to fight that
Essentially, it's
bitch.
just a series of stories that all sound like those, and then everyone clapped copy pastas, you know. But sometimes that stuff happens. Oh well, here's Vermin taking the bullet for me. Thank you. Vosh would speak publicly whenever he had the chance and did it well. He last minute decided to give a speech at my aunt's wedding when he was just meeting the whole family, and we'd only been dating for 3 months, but he did it and everyone laughed and clapped, and I nearly threw up, dear God. Well, there you go. I distinctly remember Vermin's panic when I was at this wedding between two people who I didn't know, and I went up when they asked the crowd if anyone wanted to give the next speech. And I delivered a wedding speech to two people I didn't know. And it was fun, and they all clapped. Why would you do this? Because it was fun. Because I can. Because I could do whatever I want as long as I'm on stage. Because that's the magic of public speaking. Everyone else is terrified of it, and it throws into great contrast people who are very good at it. I like debate, too. And that's also a kind of public speaking. Unless you're debating interpersonally, in which case, you know, why even waste your time? And when I started the channel, obviously live streaming debates, you know, I knew what I was good at, and I'm good at what I do. And I guess I'd always hoped that in spite of being a contentious person, somebody who doesn't always make friends super easily, you know, I'd always hoped that there would be this kind of begrudging respect for a skill set that people considered valuable. You know what I mean? Like, okay, maybe people wouldn't like me or the channel or the content or even the political positions necessarily, but there'd be a kind of broad respect for the ability to just talk publicly and be convincing, to be compelling, to be charismatic. Not to say that I'm the absolute best at that, but I'm good. And I'm disappointed to find that has not been the case. That if there is respect given there, they keep it from me. It is not something that from which I can earn this, you know, begrudging, oh, maybe I don't like you, but at least you're good at this type consideration. Because if nothing else, I feel like it'd be nice to be a rhetorical coach, right? That's what I am to a lot of you guys, at least in part. I think that's a valuable service. I wish, what a dream it would be, you know? Imagine all these people in the online left who dislike me, and they dislike me, don't get me wrong, it's sincere, the dislike. But, you know, they know who to go to for the talking points. If somebody in the online left, somebody who doesn't like me, has an interview coming up, or they're going to be like, there's like a journalist they're going to talk to, or somebody challenging them to a debate and they accept it even though they don't really know what they're doing, who do they go to for the advice? Who do they go to for rhetorical training? Who do they go to for that? I'd always imagined, well, this at least is something to which I could be given some degree of credit. This at least is something
Finish this joint.
for which
Get this
value
trophy.
can be found. But unfortunately, as things are right now, it's just too partisan for that to function. But consider this an open letter, okay? I will not sit here and pretend that I'm not great at what I do, because I am. I'm very good at it. Take advantage of that. So you think I'm a racist, transphobe, pedophile, American nationalist, misogynist, whatever. But if you're a part of the left and you're going to be talking to the public, you'd better do a good fucking job, because there are consequences to doing a bad job that affect not me, I'll be fine either way, that affect them, that affect people who more immediately experience the consequences of poor advocacy. If you're a head mod on an anti-work subreddit and you've got a Fox News interview coming up, please, God, put aside your dislike. Because there are valuable skills to be taken advantage of here. Happens all the time. Public speaking is difficult, but the right has the backing of institutions. You understand people on the right have media training? Like real media training, right? You think Ben Shapiro, Michael Knowles, Matt Walsh, do you think they're just like YouTubers? No. These people work directly with powerful people. They get actual media training. I've never had actual media training. There are probably things in it that I don't know. How to control your hands, how to control your pacing, how to control the discourse. There are probably things there that I could stand to learn from. This is expensive and highly technical knowledge that they get because these fucks have businesses. People on the right who get big, really, really big, aren't just YouTubers. They're adjacent to real institutional power centers, or directly part of them. And they still suck at debate, because they're conservatives. You have to take advantage of what you can. I would love it if that was a service I could provide, you know? FD Signify, you know, if this guy is ever going to present a talking point to an audience, a hostile audience, maybe it'll never happen, that's fine. But if it did, wouldn't be a bad thing to be good at it. I don't know. Anyone else? All right. It's enough conceited rambling, I think that, for the most part, I'm pretty down low about the ridiculous amount of harassment that I get. Just the unimaginable tidal wave of harassment that I get. So, in lieu of complaining about this all the time, we've sort of constructively condensed it into a nugget of you know, what would you call it? Antagonism? Something? I don't know. Yes, the knowledge nugget. Thank you. Thank you very, very much. I have a request from all of you that you have to abide by. Okay? Now, Fortress remains. We defend ourselves. However, no negative attitudes. I'm actually being serious. Okay? We get a lot of hate. I get a lot of hate. A lot. All right? You know, lashing out back. I think we know it's not going to change their minds, but it does change our minds. It makes us more negative. You know? We'll watch the video, respond to any things that we think, well, I think, are inaccurate, and we're not going to get too involved. It's a lot shorter than the Debate Bro Problem video, so it's going to be easier to get through. I might speed this up to 1.1, 1.2, we'll see. Let's go. Woo! Oh, it's like an Adult Swim intro.
Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. How's it going? I hope you're doing well. Check out how green everything is. Check out how green all that stuff is.
Nice.
Check out how green everything is. Check out how green all that stuff is. So a little while ago, I released a video called Solving the Debate Bro.
I'm going to turn it to 1.1. That's my compromise. Okay? 1.1.
Problem. This video set out to criticize two left-leaning political live streamers, Vosh and Xanderhall, for behavior that I found problematic. I looked at a few different examples, so Vosh's interaction with the smaller video essayist Professor Flowers, Xanderhall's video that was critical of myself and some other lefty content creators, and various elements of their respective communities' behavior. After the video's release, Vosh and Xanderhall both reacted to it live on their streams, in videos that have since been uploaded to YouTube. They had many criticisms. I went on to Vosh's stream to talk with him about some of those criticisms. Vosh also released another video on the subject titled Solving the Video Essayist Problem, which was critical of my video's argumentation, or lack thereof, some say. Some say that, not me though. I would never say something, I would never say that.
Do you agree Noah's mustache is sexy? I do not think mustaches look bad. If you pull it off and you're confident about it, I think it's cool. And I do respect him doing it. You know, whatever else, whatever disagreements, I do feel that way.
Linked all of those in the description if you're sort of a creep that wants to watch all that stuff. The video's reception
I have to collect.
was, well, divisive might be the right word. On the one hand, you had a lot of people who understood where I was coming from, who empathized with my frustrations about these spaces, or just were able to have a laugh at the way I went about
Oh, can I see some of that? I'm sorry. Earn my respect. I seem to be an easily convinced person.
If we fight, so I said, yes, we have no...
Oh, this person seems nice.
As with my frustrations about these spaces, or just were able to have a laugh at the way I went about highlighting them. Vine boom sound. Vine boom sound. Vine boom sound.
Yeah.
Vine boom. On the other hand, though, a lot of people didn't like the video. This dislike ranged from, hey man, normally like your videos, but this one was a miss. This wasn't it, Chief. Mr. Chief, this was not it. Mr. Chief, Halo 7. Marriage, all the way to this is the worst video essay of all time that should be wiped clean from the internet along with your channel. The latter response was basically the takeaway from the streamers themselves.
I am not joking when I say to all of you with full sincerity that is that the same outfit? No, different tank top. Different tank top. Sorry guys, different tank top. Quite possibly the worst takedown I've seen.
It's really disappointing how much of the online left can be convinced by such stupid arguments if they're said by somebody with a nice mustache and some bisexual lighting and the lo-fi chill music in the background.
Vosh at one point even offered me a cash reward of double the video's ad revenue to take it down.
If Noah Sampson deletes the video, and I will acknowledge that this is a stupid dick wavy thing to do. There's really no reason to behave like this. It's also optically bad because it makes it seem like I'm like trying to bribe him to like hide the truth or whatever. It was just me. I was saying like in my mind, I was saying like he should take the video down because it's wrong, and then I was thinking in my head like a person in chat saying, well, it's his job to make videos, like he needs the income. And then I thought, well, I'll even do that. But of course, that's stupid, right? Publicly retracts the information within, then he can screenshot the AdSense info within it, and I will give him money so that he doesn't lose a cent from deleting it. I'll double it.
So naturally, I took it down. I got the money, and then I put the video back up. I plan on doing that a few hundred more times. Boss just keep paying me. Unlimited money glitch. Motherload. Just kidding, that whole thing was a joke. I can't take money from the CIA, I still use TurboTax. It would be a mess. But okay, why are we here today, Noah? Why are we talking about your last video? Grow up, move on. Well, I want to talk today about what I experienced in the aftermath of making it. I want to do this because after I released the video, frankly, some weird stuff happened. And some bad stuff happened. And I want to talk about that and connect the weird, bad stuff to the experiences of other people. I want to outline how this happens, what the backlash from debate streaming, what's at stake for some of the people who experience it, and maybe what can be done about it eventually. Probably not today, but someday. So yeah, super vague, but I will get into it, which was my video, the responses,
I don't have
the
my
debate,
sand skin
and the other
yet.
content. I started seeing one comment pop
trying to
up
parry.
in different places on the web. The comment says that basically, in my conversation with Bosch, I walked back my entire video, admitted to it being full of lies and misinformation, and should therefore delete the video. I've received versions of this comment hundreds of times, maybe thousands at this point if we're counting tweets, from not only fans of these creators, but from the creators themselves. So is this what happened? Did I walk back my video in the debate? And at first, I wasn't sure, so I watched it back, only to discover that, no, this did not happen. In my conversation with Bosch, I conceded 3 points, and none of these points stand in the way of my video's main arguments. The driving issues behind my video, the reasons why I made it, were Bosch's treatment of Professor Flowers and Xanderhall's problematic language. The 3 points that I...
Credit where credit's due. He did not back off the Professor Flowers thing. You remember that? We had like the screenshot up of her saying like white people equals colonizer. He was like, I don't believe it. So he, to be fair, he did not walk that back. Okay, if you say that he did, he was, then you're lying.
conceded in the debate had nothing to do with these. It has been a little while, so if your memory's a little hazy on it, I encourage you, go back and watch the debate. That is what happened. And yet, here we have countless people jumping in.
Oh, sorry, wait, I'm sorry, I thought he would read those out loud. Zizek quote supported my point. Indigenous activists have requested to come on to refute Professor Flowers. Telling people to stop watching debate. Okay. I do remember those being the only explicit retractions. There might have been more stuff that he kind of like to walk back a bit more, but this is what I remember. I don't have a good memory.
You can watch the debate. That is what happened. And yet, here we have countless people jumping into my comment sections to self-righteously proclaim something that is demonstrably false, and using this falsehood as a justification to force my hand into deleting a video. That seems a bit weird, right? Lest this come off as me saying that no, I did not get owned actually, as I slowly shrink into a corn cob. That's not true. I did get owned. Roughly 1 million people on the internet think I'm the worst video essayist of all time, and I'm fine with that.
The thief was literally right there on top of the hill. You could see him, you fucking blind dipshits.
And I have since realized that it did happen here. Now,
God,
here one might
playing
object,
a
well,
game a
no,
second
you went
time
onto
through,
the
I
debate
always
stream
see
and
how
you were
shit it is,
conciliatory. You didn't
or
argue
how
for
good
your
it
positions
is.
well, and you backtracked enough points that if people got the impression that you don't believe what you said in your video, can you really blame them? And initially, I actually agreed with this point. I was like, you know, yeah, I guess this is just kind of what happens when you go on debate streams, especially if you go on unprepared and...
I do want to say, and again, I understand I've said this before, but I do generally have respect for people who will hash out their disagreements with me over a stream, like especially if they know it's going to be antagonistic, because again, like there's no way of saying this without sounding conceited, but I'm pretty good at it, and they know that. Everyone knows that, so it's my job. So for them to be willing to, you know, and I'm willing to give people a lot of leeway, like.
Let me
If
do
I'm
it, pussy.
debating a conservative,
Thank you, bitch.
and they make a mistake, I will
The fuck are you
dive in
doing,
on
bro?
that. Like I
Get a hold
will,
of yourself.
I will punish them for it. But when lefties make
Walls,
those
I
mistakes,
love walls.
I usually try to give them leeway.
Invisible
Like with
walls
Professor
everywhere.
Flowers, I swear to God, I asked her like 50 times all the clarifying questions. You know, with Mexi, like you know, in Noah, I really try to give more leeway because again, like you know, I don't really benefit from like crushing, you know, whatever. I do that. I try to do that with conservatives or whatever, but you know, sorry, you get what I mean.
and unseasoned in the art of debate as I was and still am. I'm not coming back on, guys, so don't ask. I should have known better than to go on that stream. Ultimately,
That's
this
fair.
might be my fault, or so I thought. When I actually took a step back, though, and thought about it, and then watched the debate a few more times, I realized that no, that's bullshit. People should not be allowed to lie about stuff just because I didn't go full debate lord in the debate realm. That should
Can't
not
get
be
the-
standard procedure. I entered that conversation
I can't
attempting
get
to seek
the
understanding. I felt bad.
Find an
frankly,
armor
after
to
seeing how
leave the
poorly
camp?
my
Are you
video was
kidding me? I have to
received.
collect
What
shit
the
and sell it?
fuck is that?
And how if my goal
Hey!
was to put a stop to
Are you
bad
fucking
behavior
kidding
I tried
me?
to call out, and the video
I have 25
was
coin.
a
Here,
failure. I
how
went
about
out
that?
wanting to try to like, I don't know.
No,
figure
that's
out
the
what
only
went
coin
wrong,
I
guess.
have.
And when this audience of
I have to
people saw
rob
me do that,
everybody.
what they saw was weakness, and they took that weakness as a sign to go in the attack. And that's what they did. They took whatever they could to discredit me, and now because of this, they feel justified, vindicated even, in bullying me into silence. Cancel culture, the woke Twitter mob strikes again.
Okay,
Took his money.
so I have claims.
Give me
to
your money,
disagree with
pussies.
now.
Where's it at?
I will acknowledge
There we go.
that
Fucking ridiculous.
my audience
That is
can
so
be a
dumb.
bit sharkish at times. It seems to be kind
That's
of
so
an
fucking
inevitable
dumb.
product of doing debate. They like what they like. However, I feel like the sentiment that they're expressing is pretty valid with regards to the like, you backed off these positions on stream type deal. Now, I don't care enough to go back and watch my convo with Noah to see like what he did or didn't walk back, but I feel like apart from the explicit talking points that he did walk back on, there was like a broader, kind of a broader admission that the narrative of the video was just wrong. And that to me counts kind of, you know, it's not like a point being walked back, but it's like the underlying structure beneath the point was dismantled. Especially the stuff against Zan, I think, was especially egregious. Now, I will acknowledge that my community can be a bit sharkish. I guess the issue is that after his conversation with me, Noah doesn't feel like he's done very much to not look like kind of a weasel. That's not to say that he is or isn't, only that like from an outside audience member's perspective, what they're going to see is like a video that we felt was really uncharitable towards me with a lot of wrong stuff that we attacked, and then he came on and like moved off it, but then like it's followed by this kind of hemming and hawing and this, you know, it definitely gives my audience at least the impression of, do you think it would be weird for me to say that you guys feel like I might have gotten taken advantage of? I don't think that's actually what happened, but in terms of like the arrangement of the engagements, like where I private the video, but then the video gets unprivated and he walks it back in a talk, but then like later he kind of like shuffles it back, you know, stuff like that. At the very least, I could understand how it would irritate a portion of my audience. That's me.
One thing that's been brought up a few times is the question of where do we draw the line between criticism and harassment? Where does warranted punishment for having a bad take turn into abuse?
By the way, these are valid questions, and I don't think because he's the one bringing them up, that means that they're not valid, because they are.
I think making this distinction at times can be difficult, but I think in the case of larger streamers like Bosch, there are factors about their medium which can elevate standard criticism into harassment territory quicker and more easily than creators in other mediums. It can also sustain this harassment for longer than it might elsewhere. And this is really more of a theory derived from what I've seen these creators say and my own experiences. But like, okay, you have a few thousand people watching you, giving you positive feedback, and that feedback is reciprocated. The chat's like, oh man, they're doing you dirty, man. It's super fucked up what they're doing to you, dude. Oh, they're really bad. And sometimes the streamer's like, you know what? Yeah, they are fucked up, dude. Fuck these guys. I hate them. Spit on them. And the chat's like, yeah. A lot of times the chat.
This is not untrue. Oh, I will say, by the way, there is something he's saying here that I think is correct. And it's that I think my community is independently capable of producing very directed antagonism in a way other people's communities aren't. Not on the left, at least, you know. What I've noticed is that when I get harassment by other lefties online, it's very rarely like from X's audience. You know what I mean? Like, I don't get harassed from Sophie from Mars's audience, or from ContraPoints' audience, or from Cat Black's audience, or from Professor Flower's audience, or anything like that. I get harassed by the online left. And I think the reason for that is because the problems that I have, Destiny's another debate stream, so that would kind of feed into my point. I think the issue is that the toxicity that festers, that sort of hurts me in the left, is kind of mostly a product of Twitter engagement. It's not of another content creator specifically, even though they can make it worse and rile things up. It's more the broader, or to put it another way, like after the Cat Black stuff, and Reddit as well, like social media, after the Cat Black stuff, I got a lot of harassment. But it wasn't from Cat Black fans, you know? It was from the
God, it's so
left.
fucking orange.
Whereas if I'm beefing with somebody, they get hate
Why the
from my
fuck is it
community
like that?
directly. Not from just some nebulous group of online people who tend to agree with me. It's my community. And I think that's a product of the directness
fallen, broke
of
my neck.
medium, the fact that I make content all
Thanks,
the time,
bro.
and I'm live engaging with you all. Now, for what it's worth, I still think you guys really don't harass people that much. I'm just saying that I understand how the medium has a heightened potential for it.
Cat wants blood. This is something that has been acknowledged within the community. Now, I'm really not trying to point the finger of blame in any one direction here. This process has a lot of moving parts. You have the creators themselves, their orbiters, the communities, the subreddits, the forums, the hours and hours and hours of streams, the comment sections.
Would you say the essayists feel the harassment you get with how they mischaracterize you as the enemy? Yes. The video essayists, when they engage with me in a negative way, exacerbate the broader environment of dislike towards me, but I don't get like a special wave of hate from their community. Does that make sense? That's what I mean to say. Like, there's a more direct line between what I talk about and what happens within my community than in non-live stream debate communities. That's the only point I'm trying to make.
Where the spiciest, most sycophantic takes are rewarded with the sweet, sweet dopamine of likes and faves and retweets and reposts. And all of it coalesces into one single force field that...
I don't think that the debate streaming has anything to do with the spicy takes and the sycophant stuff.
The comment sections, where the spiciest, most sycophantic takes are rewarded with the sweet, sweet dopamine of likes and faves.
I think this happens everywhere.
And retweets and reposts. And all of it coalesces into one single force field that incentivizes drama farming and misrepresentation. Maybe we could term this the Vosh effect or something, because I think a lot of times...
I just don't like the name being used to describe a phenomena that's mostly applicable to all content creators. The specific stuff to like the debate streams would probably be more aptly a Destiny thing, since he was doing this for longer than me, but I mean, I'll take my names where I get them, I guess.
Times criticisms against him are actually criticisms of this effect. But this energy bounces back and forth between fandom and creator until narratives are formed. And then those narratives are used as justification for all kinds of bullying, harassment, and coercion against perceived adversaries. And given the distance and speed at which these narratives can travel, a lot of times there's enough space between the actual harassment going on and the creators that it's really difficult to hold people accountable.
There's an element of truth to this. The only issue is most people on the left hate me because they call me like a racist, transphobe, pedophile, not because they think my community is like really aggressive and angry and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I don't want to give the impression that the broader dislike of me is a product of like content creation through debate stream specific stuff. It's like a me thing. It's not like the medium necessarily. I will agree that the perception that my community is vitriolic does lead people to dislike me, but I do not think it's that warranted.
But what's worse is that sometimes you get creators directly calling for the harassment, dogpiling, or brigading of other creators. If you're familiar with these spaces, you're probably familiar with this approach. Recently, Bosch did this to a creator some of you may know. Her name is Natalie Wynn, aka ContraPoints.
I know her.
LeftTube's mom. In the aftermath of the Vosh J.K. Rowling ironic misogyny debacle, none of those words are in the Bible, Natalie criticized Vosh for centering himself in the conversation on...
I don't want to go on the tangent again. I don't think I was centering myself. Everyone else was centering me. Like J.K. Rowling just happened to screenshot me. Like everyone else made it about me instead of J.K. Rowling.
Trans advocacy. And then during the stream, Bosch said this.
The thing that really bothers me is, like, is this not exactly like all of the woke scolds who would reply to ContraPoints and say stuff like, are you done invalidating the voices of trans women who have been hurt by your content? It's such a shitty, presumptuous, woke scold kind of behavior because you're presupposing, yeah, the more viewer in the replies being like, that's not what's happening right here. Like, this is necessary, okay? Publicly shame her into changing her mind on this.
So what he did here is harassment. With 7,000 people watching,
I don't agree, and I'll explain why. I think it's honesty. If you're a large content creator and you're beefing with people publicly, people on both sides of the engagement are... Listen, if Natalie wanted to disagree with me without incurring reproach from her followers, she could have DM'd me. Now, you could argue it's kind of crass. That's straight up brigading. Yes, that's obviously brigading. I don't think it's harassment, though. Because I think the effect, hey, people go in the tweet responses and tell her why she's wrong, like shame her into agreeing with whatever, is functionally different than what she was doing to me or encouraging her followers to do to me. I was just explicitly acknowledging it, which is the reason why I said it. I guess maybe I'm fronting my assumptions a little bit here, but when Natalie Wynn, like the largest person in BreadTube, is publicly engaging in drama to shit talk me dishonestly, in my mind I'm thinking she's using her audience to publicly shame me, because that's obviously the effect of the engagement. So anyway, it's definitely brigading. You could say it's harass. I don't think of it as harassment, you know. By that lot, like anytime you say like help me on Twitter, like is that harassment? I don't know. That's my position.
made an explicit command to his supporters, telling them to go pile on to Natalie with support for his position until she changed her mind, or, you know, bent the knee, as it were. And lo and behold, his audience followed suit. And
all right,
shortly
where's the
after
statue?
This, Natalie
I need
ended
to smash.
up blocking her Twitter account and blocking Vosh.
I think those tweets were fine.
Or, you know, bent the knee, as it were. And
Read the DM, stop weighing in on a subject you haven't properly filled yourself in on. That's fine. That's true. I agree with that.
lo and behold,
They literally aren't defending the misogyny at any point.
his
He said it's correct to call it misogyny, this drama. I don't...
audience followed.
Not even close. He's not about the misogyny. Oh my god, just listen to the stream. What he's saying. He's not defending. I mean...
Followed suit. And
I assume the rest of it is
I don't know why I'm collecting
you're
this
all
shit. Let me go
disagreeing
get.
here. Don't get me wrong.
Just
but,
here
I
for an
mean,
achievement.
I don't know if I can call
Oh
it.
god, thank god I
and
thought my
shortly
game
after
crashed.
this, Natalie ended up blocking her Twitter account and blocking Vosh. Now, I'm not a mind reader, okay? I can't pretend to know exactly what her motivations here were for doing these things. But what I can tell you, as someone who has gone through what I would consider a similar experience, being dogpiled by Vosh fans, this response does not surprise me.
If you check the responses to my tweets, you will also find her fans dogpiling me. The fact that she ended up blocking is only a testament to my superior will, you know. Keep in mind, she's a bigger content creator than me. Massively so. Like she's way more prominent than I am. So, I don't think this is some, like, power imbalance thing, you know. Yeah, Contra will delete tweets to avoid harassment. You know, her privating her Twitter over this doesn't seem like a massive hyperbolic reaction. I've never privated my Twitter, so it's just not an outcome that you're going to get from me. Would you consider a dogpile to be harassment, even if the individual comments on harassment on their own? Maybe if it's like a really small, like, figure, and like if they're like some nobody Twitter account, and you like try to get like hundreds of people replying to tell them how they're wrong about something, I could see that. But in this case, her platform is larger than mine, so it really felt like the ethics were normalized by us both being large figures, you know? After all, you can harass somebody as a large account without, like, even telling people to brigade, right? Like,
Any
if you're
statues
JK
nearby?
and you just
Vantage
like,
points.
comment underneath some nobody trans account, like reply to a tweet or something and go like, well, that's not civil of you, you're not even a real one, like blah blah blah, like that can be harassment, because the inevitable consequence of that is going to be like thousands of people piling in there, you know. So I just think it's nuanced.
I don't see any statues.
At all. In the face of being flooded with massive amounts of undue condescension, I completely
These are fair disagree. These are the same screenshots. They're fair disagree.
understand the decision to go private and block him. Doesn't matter how big your platform is or how experienced you might be, this stuff can really take a toll on you. This dogpiling is one of the things that drove Lindsay Ellis, another prominent video essay.
I don't like this. What happened to Lindsay Ellis was what happened to me. In both cases, a dishonest framing of us by woke scolds leading to a dogpile and overwhelming harassment on Twitter. Like, yeah.
Into quitting YouTube altogether. I mentioned before how Bosch offered me a cash bounty of double my ad revenue if I deleted my video. Well, when I did actually take the video down for a short period of time, he made a point to say that while his offer did still stand, it wasn't meant to be like a threat. It was intended as more of a chest-beating mafia style sort of.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's a nice video. You know, worth more in the bin than on the feed. Am I right?
Bluff thing.
It does make me look bad though. It was meant to be kind of like a mafioso chest beating thing, which I only did because I've been sort of compromised by this, you know?
Which, in a way, I understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I didn't see it as a malicious thing. The problem with that, though, is what this sentiment results in. When Vosh says stuff like this, he might be using ironic bravado or whatever, but his following, when they say it, when they call me a spineless loser that should delete his channel and make fun of me for stuttering and various other bad stuff, they mean that shit. These people make fun of me for stuttering and various other bad stuff.
It's rude to make fun of a person for stuttering. I guess I would call that on like the very lowest tier of like harassy stuff. But yeah.
Stuff, they mean that shit. These people become emboldened by this rhetoric to act in a manner that might on the surface just seem abrasive, but in actuality ends up being just genuinely abusive and coercive. And much like how each tweet from his fans
And just show me a statue. Where are they at?
I wish the responses to my tweets would be shown, like what other people said, right? I mean, I haven't looked through these because I don't like pay that much attention, whatever. This might all be like in favor of me because I was live streaming during it. Checked it in here, yeah. I mean, can I find it like back before? Oh, here we go. Is this really your argument that I, by way of being cis, couldn't possibly be correct in a disagreement on transition of a trans person? This guy. This got some engagement. Oh, no, 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 no. Hey! Oh, that's right. Gayfesh went against me here. They'll all pay. I'll remember. From the
Find
day of the
enhanced dash
revolution.
shards.
Did Noah block me? I don't think Noah blocked me. No, I don't think so. I don't know. God, you're such a narcissist. Please do everyone a favor and just shut up. Isn't that like...
Silvery
I feel like
ore
this
and
is just on
essence
tier with
core,
like the stuff
whatever.
that's getting screenshotted, I guess. Someone needs to run your ass into the ground already. Oh shit, we have a physical threat underneath my... well, yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to like spend like 30 minutes like just like looking around for it or whatever. I'm just saying that, you know, I get some negative engagement.
Mr. Natalie all berated her with the same message, that she's wrong, with the intent of bullying her into changing her mind. Each comment on my video was essentially a copy and paste of his statements, with the intended goal of bullying me into deleting it. I'm not liking this floof here. How do I get rid of the floof? Haircut?
I think it's fine.
It does make me wonder, like, how much of this is motivated by his fans' genuine beliefs, and how much of it is them just following orders. And while the exact ratio may be tough to find, I do
Nice. My community does not automatically go along with me. I had to fight with them for a long time on this one. I feel like I earned my community's agreement on this. You know what I mean? Like, it didn't just happen. Like, I had to spend like several days, like dedicatedly, yeah, I've literally lost like thousands of subscribers.
know that were he not to make these statements and commands, this dogpiling would not be taking place. It's precisely this effect, the collective Vosh unconscious, that had me legitimately doubting my own intentions with my video. The influx of this type of stuff in the week after its release is part of what led me to actually taking the video down for a little bit. If you read things like this enough times, it really starts to get into your head. The combination of them being so confident that they're correct, while airing these feelings of victimization with...
Well, we are. I can't work my way around that on this one. We are, in this respect, Natalie directly admitted that she didn't know my arguments, so she came in wrong. She didn't even know what I believed. Yeah.
Such condescension. This is what eventually results in people being forced to fall in line by this community. It results in damage control when things come out that make them look bad, and it's a really problematic dynamic. Another more recent example of this dynamic can be found in an extremely long and complicated interaction that Vosh had with the YouTuber Cat Black. To be clear, this one was a mess. As such, I'm only going to look at one specific example from it that relates to what I'm talking about here. I will try to give as much context as is necessary. So, around the time of Vosh's JK Rowling stuff, Cat made a tweet thread asking specifically trans women in her audience about the efficacy of the ironic misogyny Vosh displayed. So basically asking, what do we think about this? Vosh eventually messaged her about the thread, and they went back and forth. Kat ended up leaking these DMs when she felt that Vosh had misrepresented their contents to his stream. So during this exchange, Vosh's...
Wait. I didn't say anything. I kept it private. She did a 100 tweet thread about our conversation, thus leaking that we had talked at all, whereas I intended to keep it private. And then when I disagreed with her mischaracterization of my positions, then she leaked all of the DMs. Excluding, of course, the flirting earlier.
community attempted to rewrite the order of events with the goal of discrediting Kat by painting her as a sexual abuser. Their justification for this accusation was that Kat had made sexual comments about Vosh without his consent, pictured here. What this accusation is leaving out, though, is that what she said here was directly responding to Vosh saying this on his stream while referencing Kat.
Yeah, Vosh, pretty much exactly what Kat states he's into. All right, are you guys ready for the mildest hot take in the universe? Okay? Super idpol, like,
so right.
lefty black women who are, like, really condescending to white people in terms of their ability to engage in political discourse. Love fucking white dudes. It's the exact same reason that racist white guys all watch interracial porn to jerk off to. It's the exact same thing. It's identical. There's no difference. It's literally the exact same goddamn thing. It's true. I'm sorry, guys. People who have, like, racist thoughts tend to, like, weirdly fetishize, like, interracial race shit for, like, probably reasons they should be more critical of.
So neither of these things are good, right? Weird
First of all, I don't think these are comparable at all. Making
Where's the
negative
statues?
comments
I need
about
the
another person's,
statues.
like, genitals.
I don't think it's in this map yet. They're in the next
in my
map.
opinion, than making a broad comment about Cat Black being like an anti-white but loves white guys, like, which is a trope, you know, it's a trope broadly, regardless of your racial group. She had made weird comments about me before that, as somebody, Dino Smash 69 in chat just pointed out. She tweeted this before I responded to anything. Lol, I'm so dead at all of black women saying that I shouldn't have said this out loud. This being admitting that we'd sexted. Yes, I know I failed. I know, lol. We all make mistakes. I was my 20s. You know, and then all the replies under are like, we forgive you for flirting with Vosh, even though he's disgusting. And she's like, thank you for your support, you know. Which also feels pretty weird. And anyway, only that and also some broader stuff because, you know, Cat Black has talked about sex and relationships.
You serious, bro?
So
Leave me
I
alone.
think she's made plenty of comments about liking white bearded dudes, so I made that comment. And then she was like, oh, well, his dick is weird. Which, by the way, definitely isn't. Leaked my dick pics before I started streaming. Well, right as I started streaming. An inalienable, factual, empirical tablet encoded into law. A cosmic truth, which all can be compared. Nobody doubts it. Nobody denies it. They can stay mad.
Nope.
Right, sorry. A little distracted. Okay.
Gotta go
Actually
around.
charged invasive race play fetish rants are bad. Body shaming and leaking DMs are also bad, generally speaking. Her reasoning for leaking the DMs justifies the leak, in my opinion, but that's just me. However, while people reasoning for leak...
If I told you I was not interested in having a convo, tried to very politely tell him that while reiterating my points, only post the DMs after he and others were denying how the convo went. Well, she was lying about the convo.
Fuck, I forgot how I did that.
I was saying that was a lie.
Ooh, statue.
So I was denying with her account. I mean, that's
Time to
kind
do it.
of a bad justification, right? Like, I lie about a convo, and then when they call me out, I post the convo and leak it, proving him right. Yeah.
Leaking the DMs justifies the leak, in my opinion, but that's just me. However, while people can argue back and forth about which of these is worse, the point here is that the offensiveness of what Vosh said was almost completely ignored, while the offensiveness of...
I don't think it's that bad. Is pointing out that
Can't jump that
racists
yet? Fuck.
have interracial fetishes that hot of a take on the left? I think that's a pretty
God damn it.
boilerplate, edgy, lefty thing to point out, you know? Yeah, I don't know. It feels, you know.
of what Kat said has been singled out and used as a line of attack. I'm not making a comment about which is worse. We shouldn't do either, but the point stands, especially given that her tweet is directly responding to this invasive rant from Vosh. He said that stuff first. There is a different standard being applied here by this audience of people, and that's bad. Also, what's important...
I just... Wait, hold on. He's saying that he won't comment on a which is worse, but then he's saying that my audience is engaging in a double standard by thinking hers is worse, which seems to me like he is saying either that they're the same or mine is worse, because otherwise it wouldn't be a double standard for my audience to think that hers is worse. Unless he thinks the double standard is my audience not commenting on my stuff at all, but I think anyone who watches me is probably pretty on board with me making comments.
Come on, bro, leave me alone. Let me raise my
Important
shit.
to note here is that Kat later acknowledged her mistake in making this comment about Vosh in a tweet.
Ah, it doesn't
but
have
did
the
Vosh
strength.
acknowledge
Fuck.
making any mistakes here, like
Need some more
talking about her in
pieces.
that manner on his stream? I don't know, and I have no plans of watching a 7-hour stream to find out. Maybe he did, but based on how his community still calls her a sexual harasser to this day, I have my doubts. And okay, so another thing somebody might say here is, well, Noah, doesn't your video encourage people to dogpile onto debate bros? It does paint them in a pretty bad light. Why is what you've done just considered criticism, but when we do it, it's harassment? And the thing is,
Watchtower, is
you
this
would
what
be
we
right
need?
to ask these questions. I'm willing to acknowledge that videos like mine contribute to this culture. They create negative impressions that can lead to dogpiling. It took me going through all of this to realize that this is one of the responsibilities of having a platform, and it's something I plan on taking seriously moving forward. You can't control what everyone does online, obviously, but you can take steps to be more responsible. So something like making it clear to my audience that if they're going to comment on someone's work who I'm criticizing, don't do it unless you're going to be constructive, or at least not be a dick. But my video's lack of disclaimers is so much different than Vosh actively weaponizing his audience against other creators, dogpiling them and coercing them into getting what he wants. And
So, I guess my issue with this is it feels like, it feels like the issue with what I do is that it's like, I guess, too honest for a lot of people with respect to like the engagement with the audience, because like these little video essays with their disclaimers do get me a lot of hate.
Gotcha.
He literally told his followers to dogpile Zan, by the way. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. Like, I think the directness in some respects is a lot less important, you know? Like, I'll give you an example, okay? We would recognize this was the case if we were talking about, say, like, bigotry in a gamer... No, not even bigotry. Harassment from, like, a Gamergate-style channel. Do you guys remember how back in 2015, 16, like, it was pretty common for there to be videos that
How
would
the
get,
fuck
like,
do I
half
get
a
that
million
last dash
views,
shard?
where it's all about what a monstrous, horrible person like Anita Sarkeesian or like Brianna Wu were, but it was filled with those, well, maybe she doesn't know, like, don't harass her, like that kind of stuff. While these things are, I guess it's better to have those than not. I mean, obviously the effect is still noted here, right? You know, if a community really dislikes a person and you reinforce that, it does kind of build up the same negative sentiment, regardless of what you say. I don't know, you know. If anything, like being very direct about it is like an optical loss, you know, which I clearly don't care about at this point.
I think that difference is worth taking into account. And despite this difference, despite the fact that my video essay did not explicitly call for any public action against Vosh, as he's done here, I do recognize that it still could have had the same effect, which again is why, not just for streamers, but video essays too, and really everyone on this platform with a large audience, we need to be more responsible, especially when we're dealing with people who don't have our same level of protection. Now, I do want to be clear here. Once there was some communication between Vosh and I, once he was at least aware that the video I made did not set out to attack him unjustly, this condescension died down. After around this time, as far as I know, he didn't go out of his way to stir up drama on his stream. The wave of these comments slowed. Also, a war started, so that could be part of it, but I didn't do that, so I would never do that. I hate war. He addressed our conflict on a recent stream, and did so in what I felt was a fair manner.
Noah Sampson. I don't think that he's dumb. A lot of people in my community have said that he's dumb. I don't actually think that. I think that snark
Can't fast travel, goddammit.
can often come across as dumb because it gives the impression of a sort of confident ignorance of a subject, you know. We'll see how things play out with him.
And I do appreciate this, but there's something missing here if I were to just leave it at that. Because while I'm willing to acknowledge that in our direct interactions, Vosh has been fair to me, what I can't look past is the way that through the mobilization of this community, he has caused harm. Not just to me, but to other, more vulnerable people. The backlash has been exhausting for me. I hit a low point during the weeks following my video's release, which was the lowest I've been in a long...
I don't want the abstraction here, you know. If harm is to be pointed out, I mean, it has to be demonstrated and specified. I can't really respond like to the vague. Obviously, you know, like just the screenshotted comments are just, you know, they're negative, but
long time. But the thing is, no matter how bad this experience might have been for me, ultimately, I've had it easy compared to others, and there are a few reasons for this. I am someone who already has a decently sized platform. I have a base of online support, and from this direct material stability. I do this full time, and I have the freedom to take breaks when things get heavy. What's more is that I am also afforded certain protections that a lot of other people are not. I cannot be attacked in the same way that marginalized creators can, with the weight of actual discrimination and persecution compounding on top of these attacks, with the attacks themselves being capable of levying transphobia, homophobia, sexism, or racism, of attacking people for who they are.
I love all of those things. No, I don't. That's a joke. Where are we going? What?
They can't do that to me. What this means is that there's a certain amount of deferential treatment going on here.
Wait, I'm sorry, wait.
On top of these attacks, with the attacks themselves being capable of levying transphobia, homophobia, sexism, or racism.
I was already here.
Neat. You know, I see my community.
I can't make that
progressive
jump.
sentiment here is legitimate.
Can I?
Not to
Is there
say
a
this
bridge?
can't happen in the abstract, but it is a video entitled "The Vosh Effect," so just to rebuke the implication.
of attacking people for who they are. They can't do that to me. What this means is that there's a certain amount of deferential treatment going on here that I think is worth exploring. The deferential treatment in this case being from the communities that are motivated by Vosh's actions. If you want an example of what this deferential treatment looks like, all we have to do is look at what happened to Professor Flowers. Professor Flowers released a video last week that goes over her experience of dealing with the backlash from debating Vosh. In it, she describes how difficult it's been for her to get back.
Is her being this close to the camera like a intimidation tactic? Fuck. Okay.
To making videos. It's taken her over 6 months to do so, and one of the reasons for this is the racist harassment that she has experienced. And
Citation.
What the fuck?
Fucking needed. Better see some evidence of that.
Over there, over there. Can I make it over there? Nope.
I guess
Shit.
I just don't care. Her original conversation with me betrayed
Oh, I can make it up
political
here.
positions
Hold
that
on.
she holds, and she's revealed herself to be a terrible person in almost every subsequent interaction I've seen. Not a hint of introspection or reflection.
Fucking invisible walls. Why?
Just
Why?
continuously rolling down the hill and just being like worse and worse and worse.
Why? This fucking game.
And I mean, when people say like it took me 6 months to get back into making videos, I mean, you could say any length of time, right? Like you could say a year, or like she could come back after like getting a degree. Like, oh, it took 4 years. Like, I don't like. How do we know how do we know that the length of time that she took to come back is reflective of any actual harassment received? I don't know. Yeah, apparently she also like backstabbed President Sunday, who has been really committed to
I'm not gonna make
defending
that.
her
Oh,
in a
bridge.
very
Hold
specific
on.
way that I disagree with, but I also like.
I don't think I can
Sunday.
make. Yeah, I can make that.
And President apparently she just like lied about him in this video, but the video that she came out with is like 2 hours long or some shit. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah, President Sunday was giving her so much credit. It was crazy, but yeah. President Sunday forgot one critical thing, and it's that he's white. This was never going to work out. There was never a chance at an alliance here.
regardless of how you feel that she portrayed herself in their debate or in any subsequent videos or streams, this is something that should be unacceptable. I do recommend that you go watch her.
But what though? You know? Like when ContraPoints and Lindsay Ellis both did their cancellation videos, I feel like they did a really good job substantiating the harassment they received.
Alright, we got it. Let's
I'll leave it
go.
linked in the
Where's that
description. One of the
statue
most
at up
frustrating
over there?
parts about this whole thing
get that
is the
last
fact
dash
that
shard.
even by just mentioning her in this video, I have to contend with the fact that I might be reigniting some level of harassment against her.
People do keep bringing her up.
And any of the people I mentioned. And that's just really shitty that that's how this has to be. I did get her permission to include her in this video, but the fact
That's
that I
good.
felt the need to ask, I think, says something. Anyways, let's look at one example of differential treatment from her situation. So
Okay.
this is a thumbnail from a prominent Vosh Clips channel featuring an image of a photoshopped black Adolf Hitler. The video that this thumbnail is on is a segment from Vosh's debate with Professor Flowers. The video is titled, "Vosh owns a black white supremacist in this debate." It has been deceptively edited to make it seem as though Professor Flowers says things that she doesn't say. This includes a moment where they make it look like she calls her own father an oppressor because he's white. Many viewers took this at face value, commenting how messed up it was that she'd talk about her family like that, even though she never did. The account admits to having done this, but says that it's fine because according to them, she probably
Shit.
believes it anyway. This is something that should be unacceptable. And before you say,
Oh, hey, what's going on? Yeah, come on in.
It's not my channel. I didn't do it. I don't pay him. No, for real though. I will say, like, I'm sorry. Professor Flowers is a racist. It is a meme edit of the video. I think it's okay for my community to do stuff like that to racists. You know, like people who are very politically reprehensible. It's not as though we need to misrepresent her to point out how her arguments are bad, I think. I guess if I were to like really take issue with that, I'd have to take issue with the very concept of meme editing. I agree, I don't like misinformation about people, but the main video on my channel has like nearly 500,000 views or something. So I feel like the actual record
up with you? Everything
is
is
pretty
going
well
good?
out there. Like, you know, like in my debate with like Jesse Lee Peterson, the only video on my channel from that is an edited version because the full version is on his thing. You know, like obviously Professor Flowers is nowhere near JLP tier. In like any way, but I'm just saying like you know, obviously like meme editing to a point is I think something we kind of accept. Yeah, I don't know. I'm comfortable in this. Either way, you know, it's not something that I would do on my channel. I've instructed my editors to never edit any content within a debate for that reason exactly. It's a live exchange. It shouldn't be subject to any editing.
That it is that this sort of behavior is denounced and that members of Bosch's community are purged if they're found acting in racist ways. The channel has 25,000 subscribers. This is more subscribers than Professor Flowers herself has. Professor Flowers tweeted a screenshot of this thumbnail, which made the rounds. The video itself has 20.
I don't think this is racist. It's edgy, but I don't think anything about this. I don't think anything about this is like indicates like negativity towards black people. I think we made jokes about her being Black Hitler or Hitler. I mean, this is basically just like. I'm assuming that Thermia just Googled like Black Hitler and found somebody who did a Black Hitler. Yeah, okay. Clearly, it's edgy. What's this comment down here? I've literally experienced less racism growing up around white conservatives. Really?
The rounds. The video itself has 25,000 views and a 98% like to dislike ratio, and Bosch follows this account on Twitter. They know about this. They just don't care, or they don't see the racism. And I'm not really sure which.
I actually will say that I only realized about the existence of this video.
Yep.
You have a Phillips screwdriver?
Screwdriver, yeah. Phillips screwdriver. I don't know, hold on. Okay. Let me see what I got. Nah.
No?
Yeah, no.
Okay, that's fine.
What's
You wanna
what's a Phillips screwdriver?
this is flat screwdriver.
Okay.
Flat.
Phillips
And
screwdriver.
a Phillips
Pieces
is
on
like
it.
loose, like that.
Okay, so it's across. Oh, okay. Oh, so it's like okay. Yeah, I don't have that right now. Hold on, I got I don't know, like a drill. I got these. I got a screwdriver with different attachments.
You have it.
Yeah. I don't use it all the time, but sometimes. I'm getting my own snake train, so I won't have to pull you guys over to do the hair thing. Oh, and I took out the bathroom blinds. They were getting rusty.
An anvil. We can rest and grow stronger there.
Oh, I'm coming for you, statue.
Like yesterday when I saw people posting screenshots of this part to Twitter. That is new to me. However, I defend it, so it doesn't matter. You know, I'm just very inattentive.
one of these is worse, but I think both should be unacceptable. A related example here of this sort of differential treatment is with a creator that I mentioned earlier, Cat Black. Now, in the past month or so, following...
Also, this is not differential treatment because I would Photoshop Noah Samson to look like Hitler if I felt it was politically expedient. He would be Whitler, of course, but that seems kind of redundant. I'm just saying I don't think it's a double standard.
This interaction with Vosh, Kat has mentioned how she's experienced racism from white leftists even more than she's seen from racist white conservatives. Now, for context,
What is that, by the way? What is this? What is this like Candace Owens shit? Really? Like, oh yeah, white conservatives are so much less like, come on, really? Maybe you're more proximate to me. This just comes off as a very like always online thing. Like in an era where like 14% of Americans believe in QAnon, it just comes off as very tasteless to go like, hey, these like pro-BLM, pro-racial abolitionists, like Fred Hampton loving like lefty community is more racist than the, yeah, I don't know. I mean, 16, not 14, sorry.
White leftists, even more than she's seen from racist white conservatives. Now, for context, Kat is someone who's been around on YouTube for a long time, since 2005 to be precise. Goober Noah for scale here, this is me.
Wait, was YouTube even on? Didn't YouTube
Oh,
start
there
in
we go.
2007?
Nice.
Long time, since
No, 2005? Oh, I thought it was 2007. Oh, okay. Well, that is a long time.
2005 to be precise. Goober Noah for scale here, this is me in 2005.
Hello.
Technically YouTubing, so that's cool. But my point is,
Yep,
Kat's
kill
been
50
doing this
wraiths
for a
by
while.
shatter.
She was on YouTube at the height of the anti-SJW wave,
Hello.
through all the reactionary and alt-right stages of content creators, and she's still uploading today. So when she makes this comment that she's received, quote, way more shit from white leftists than she does from racist white conservatives, immediately following this conflict with Bosch, with his identity politics arguments being spat at her online, well, that's something that should probably ring some alarm bells. No.
With respect, what if she's just lying? Like, Candace Owens is older than Cat Black, and Candace Owens is like, well, I've done all these things, and by far the most racism I've ever seen is in Joe Biden. You know, like, again, and I don't want to compare her to Candace Owens in like every way, because Candace Owens is a paid propagandist, and I honestly just think Cat Black is really stupid. You know, or maybe it's like an emotional thing, like this is what's happening right now. Again, I don't really know. Like, it just comes off as like a very stupid thing to say. The idea that you could be on YouTube through Gamergate and then like come out of that and go like, oh yeah, Vosh is like the most racism I've seen online. Like, that to me is just such a, at the face of it, just such a ridiculous statement to make. Just like an extraordinary, yeah.
Me, but to other more vulnerable people. The backlash has been exhausting for me. I hit a low point during the weeks following my video's release, which was the lowest I've been in a long
I don't want the abstraction here. You know, if harm is to be pointed out, I mean, it has to be demonstrated and specified. You know, I can't really respond like, to the vague. Obviously, you know, like just the screenshotted comments are just, you know, they're negative, but.
Long time. But the thing is, no matter how bad this experience might have been for me, ultimately, I've had it easy compared to others, and there are a few reasons for this. I am someone who already has a decently sized platform. I have a base of online support, and from this direct material stability. I do this full time, and I have the freedom to take breaks when things get heavy. What's more is that I am also afforded certain protections that a lot of other people are not. I cannot be attacked in the same way that marginalized creators can, with the weight of actual discrimination and persecution compounding on top of these attacks, with the attacks themselves being capable of levying transphobia, homophobia, sexism, or racism, of attacking people for who they are.
I love all of those things. No, I don't. That's a joke. Where are we going? What?
They can't do that to me. What this means is that there's a certain amount of deferential treatment going on here.
Wait, I'm sorry, wait.
On top of these attacks, with the attacks themselves being capable of levying transphobia, homophobia, sexism, or racism.
Just citation needed. You know, I see my community. I think the progressive sentiment here is legitimate. Not to say this can't happen in the abstract, but it is a video entitled The Vosh Effect, so just to rebuke the implication.
of attacking people for who they are. They can't do that to me. What this means is that there's a certain amount of deferential treatment going on that I think is worth exploring. The deferential treatment in this case being from the communities that are motivated by Vosh's actions. If you want an example of what this deferential treatment looks like, all we have to do is look at what happened to Professor Flowers. Professor Flowers released a video last week that goes over her experience of dealing with the backlash from debating Vosh. In it, she describes how difficult it's been for her to get back.
Is her being this close to the camera like a intimidation tactic?
To making videos. It's taken her over 6 months to do so, and one of the reasons for this is the racist harassment that she has experienced. And
Citation fucking needed. Gotta see some evidence of that. I guess I just don't care. Her original conversation with me betrayed horrible political positions that she holds, and she's revealed herself to be a terrible person in almost every subsequent interaction I've seen. Not a hint of introspection or reflection or political, shift, just continuously rolling down the hill and just being like worse and worse and worse. And I mean, when people say like it took me 6 months to get back into making videos, I mean, you could say any length of time, right? Like you could say a year, or like she could come back after like.
Fuck, man! I was just trying to set off. Why couldn't I set off my
years.
shatter?
Like, how do we know?
Fuck.
How do we know
What
that
the
length
fuck
of
is
time
that?
she took to come back is
Why wasn't it going
reflective
off?
of any actual harassment received? I don't know. Yeah, apparently she also like backstabbed President Sunday, who has been really committed to defending her in a very specific way that I disagree with, but I also like President Sunday. And President apparently she just, like lied about him in this video, but the video that she came out with is like 2 hours long or some shit. So yeah, I don't know. Yeah, President Sunday was giving her so much credit. It was crazy, but yeah. President Sunday forgot one critical thing, and it's that he's white. This was never going to work out. There was never a chance at an alliance here.
regardless of how you feel that she portrayed herself in their debate or in any subsequent videos or streams, this is something that should be unacceptable. I do recommend that you go watch.
But what though? You know? Like when ContraPoints and Lindsay Ellis both did their cancellation videos, I feel like they did a really good job substantiating the harassment they received.
Her video, I'll leave it linked in the description. One of the most frustrating parts about this whole thing is the fact that even by just mentioning her in this video, I have to contend with the fact that I might be reigniting some level of harassment against her.
People do keep bringing her up.
And any of the people I mentioned. And that's just really shitty that that's how this has to be. I did give her permission to include her in this video, but the fact that I felt the need to ask, I think, says something. Anyways, let's look at one example of differential treatment from her situation.
Gotcha.
So this is a thumbnail from a prominent Vosh Clips channel featuring an image of a photoshopped black Adolf Hitler. The video that this thumbnail is on is a segment
After
from Vosh's
shattering,
debate
leave
with Professor
behind.
Flowers. The video is titled, Vosh owns a black white supremacist in this debate. It has been deceptively edited to make it seem as though Professor Flowers says things that she doesn't say. This includes a moment where they make it look like she calls her own father an oppressor because he's white. Many viewers took this at face value, commenting how messed up it was that she talk about her family like that, even though she never did. The account admits to having done this, but says that it's fine because according to them, she probably believes it anyway. This is something that should be unacceptable. And before you say,
It's not my channel. I didn't do it. I don't pay him. No, for real though. I will say, like, I'm sorry. Professor Flowers is a racist. It is a meme edit of the video. I think it's okay for my community to do stuff like that to racists and people who are very politically reprehensible. It's not as though we need to misrepresent her to point out how her arguments are bad, I think. I guess if I were to, like, really take issue with that, I'd have to take issue with the very concept of meme editing. I agree, I don't like misinformation about people, but the main video on my channel has like nearly 500,000 views or something. So I feel like the actual record is pretty well out there. Like, you know, like in my debate with like Jesse Lee Peterson, the only video on my channel from that is an edited version because the full version is on his thing. You know, like obviously Professor Flowers is nowhere near JLP tier. In like any way, but I'm just saying like you know, obviously like meme editing to a point is I think something we kind of accept.
Where are all
I'm
the
kind of
goddamn
comfortable with this. Either way, you know,
monsters?
it's not something that I would do on my
Jesus
channel.
Lord.
I've instructed my editors to never edit any content within a debate for that reason exactly. It's a live exchange. It shouldn't be subject to any editing.
That it is that this sort of behavior is denounced and that members of Bosch's community are purged if they're found acting in racist ways. The channel has 25,000 subscribers. This is more subscribers than Professor Flowers herself has. Professor Flowers tweeted a screenshot of this thumbnail, which made the rounds. The video itself has 20.
I don't think this is racist. It's edgy, but I don't think anything about this. I don't think anything about this is like indicates like negativity towards black people. I think we made jokes about her being Black Hitler or Hitler. I mean, this is basically just like I'm assuming that Thermia just Googled like Black Hitler and found somebody who did a Black Hitler. Yeah. Clearly, it's edgy. What's this comment down here? I've literally experienced less racism growing up around white conservatives. Really?
The rounds. The video itself has 25,000 views and a 98% like to dislike ratio, and Vosh follows this account on Twitter. They know about this, they just don't care, or they don't see the racism. And I'm not really sure which.
I actually will say that I only realized about the existence of this video like yesterday when I saw people posting screenshots of this part to Twitter. That is new to me. However, I defend it. So
Man, where the fuck is everything?
I'm just very.
This game is fucking desolate.
One of these is worse, but I think both should be unacceptable. A related example here of this sort of differential treatment is with a creator that I mentioned earlier, Cat Black. Now, in the past month or so, following...
Also, this is not differential treatment because
Diver?
I would Photoshop Noah Samson to look like Hitler if I felt it was politically expedient. He would be with her, but that seems kind of redundant. I'm just saying I don't think it's a double standard.
In this interaction with Bosch, Kat has mentioned how she's experienced racism from white leftists even more than she's seen from racist white conservatives. Now, for context,
What is that, by the way? What is this? What is this like Candace Owens shit? Really? Like, oh yeah, white conservatives are so much less racist. Like, come on, really? Maybe you're more proximate. This just comes off as a very like always online thing. Like in an era where like 14% of Americans believe in QAnon, it just
Almost
comes off
forgot
as
to kill
very
him with a shatter.
tasteless to go like, hey, these like pro BLM, pro racial abolitionist, like Fred Hampton loving like lefty community is more racist than the I don't know. I mean, 16, not 14. Sorry.
white leftists even more than she's seen from racist white conservatives. Now, for context, Kat is someone who's been around on YouTube for a long time, since 2005 to be precise. Goober Noah for scale here, this is me.
Wait, was YouTube even didn't YouTube start in 2007?
Long time, since
No, 2005? Oh, I thought it was 2007.
Of that
Okay,
suicide
well, that is
bomber
a-
momentum
2005 to be
explosion.
precise. Goober Noah for scale here, this is me in 2005.
Hello.
Technically YouTubing, so that's cool. But my point is, Kat has been doing this for a while. She was on YouTube at the height of the anti-SJW wave, through
Hello.
all the reactionary and alt-right stages of content creators, and she's still uploading today. So when she makes this comment that she's received, quote, way more shit from white leftists than she does from racist white conservatives, immediately following this conflict with Bosch, with his identity politics arguments being spat at her online, well, that's something that should probably ring some alarm bells. No.
With respect, what if she's just lying? Like, Candace Owens is older than Cat Black, and Candace Owens is like, well, I've done all these things, and by far the most racism I've ever seen is in Joe Biden. You know, like, again, and I don't want to compare her to Candace Owens in like every way, because Candace Owens is a paid propagandist, and I honestly just think Cat Black is really stupid. You know, or maybe it's like an emotional thing, like this is what's happening right now. Again, I don't really know. Like, it just comes off as like a very stupid thing to say. The idea that you could be on YouTube through Gamergate and then like come out of that and go like, oh yeah, Vosh is like the most racism I've seen online. Like that to me is just such a, at the face of it, just such a ridiculous statement to make. Just like an extraordinary, yeah.
No. A similar sentiment was expressed last month by Professor Flowers during another wave of harassment from Bosch fans. She wrote on Twitter, "I've literally experienced less racism growing up around white conservatives."
I understand this comes across as a little bit crass, you know, like, well, what if these black women are lying about their experience? Okay, so yeah, what if they are? I mean, they're just saying this, like, they're not substantiating the harassment. Yeah, like, what if they are doing that? Like, what am I supposed to do there, I guess? I don't know.
There seems to be
This
some
fucking
sort of
red
pattern
mist
that
really
may be worth
fucks up
noting.
the
I don't know what
combat,
it is, but
man.
it's super crazy. Oh my gosh, what happened? I don't know. One of the ways that
See, like, this is what I mean. Like, you can draw the implication if you want, or you can try to like build a pattern with no evidence. But if the claim is to be made that I am not only racist, or my community is racist, but so racist that it eclipses the racism that they've experienced both throughout their entire time online and growing up around white conservatives, like, I'm gonna need some evidence for that. Like, I'm gonna need, like, something, anything that could be found. I mean, what we have here is like the Black Hitler thing, and I mean, I'm not going to pretend it's not like edgy and insensitive or whatever. But I don't see.
God,
those
these fucking
racist.
cameras, bro, get off the
I
rocks!
mean, the reason
God
that
damn it!
comparison was being made was because
These fucking
Professor
boss battles
Flowers
fucking suck,
is,
man.
Whatever she might say, at least her politics lead to ethno-nationalism and a seeming black supremacy. So, you know, like Hitler, Black Hitler. Okay. Yeah.
God, with the
Bosch and his
momentum
community
killers,
operate
come
to serve to
on.
control the narrative is by outwardly and loudly condemning harassment when it is made public. I remember tweeting a screenshot of some harassment I received on Reddit DMs from a Bosch fan a while ago. Members of his community, like mods,
Hey,
immediately
what?
came in and sort of made a display of the fact that the person harassing me had been banned and that they didn't tolerate that type of stuff. And while I'm inclined to say that this is a good thing, that this is what is supposed to happen,
Fuck.
at the same time,
Got
I
to
can't help
shatter.
but wonder, why is this still up? Obviously you know about it, and they haven't done anything. And like,
On my channel.
Bro's shield
first of all,
blocked
I
my
don't
whole
care.
goddamn.
But wait. No. I'm not even gonna say.
Why
if
is
I
he just
really
standing?
wanted
This game
Thermia
fucking
to
sucks.
take a video down, I'm pretty sure I could get.
How the fuck?
You know, because if I
No
ever
way
dislike
they
what a-
fucking
what a-
tested
what a
this
clip channel
game.
is doing, I
No
could
way
just
they gave
DMCA
YouTubers the
every one of their
fucking
videos
this
and,
version of the game.
You know, they
It's
have
so
to listen.
broken.
But I wouldn't, not only because that'd be like weird, but also because I don't care about the thumbnail. It's fine.
Come on, bro, get off the rocks,
my
please.
guess is that when it comes to people that they've collectively decided are okay to punch down on, people like Professor Flowers, then there's no real incentive to crack down on this stuff. When
And
the
his
people
hand is in the rock, so I can't attack it.
I just.
at the top have signaled that being mean
Jesus
and dogpiling the
fucking
bad
Christ.
people is okay, then why would anyone say anything? If it's not advantageous,
Some very noble thirst. Comments being screenshotted here, by the way. It doesn't come across as particularly sensitive.
dogpiling the bad people is okay, then why would anyone say anything? If it's not advantageous from a PR perspective, then why bother? A related point here,
Ah.
in lieu of
Okay.
All right, thank you so much.
Okay. No more thank you. 75.
I'll try. I'm getting my own snake. I'm getting my own snake next time. I'm from Amazon.
Yeah. It's small snake. No. Okay, you get it. If you have it, call me and I'm gonna show you how to use it. It's very important.
Okay.
Because sometimes the snake breaks inside and forget it. It's a big problem. You need to break downstairs.
brings up in her video is that examples like these really make you wonder just how much racist shit goes on in these spaces unchecked.
Hold on. This woman's so angry I don't even think she understands why. Because she's a POC, I think, and is predisposed to such behavior. Yes, that is racist. No getting around that. It is, however, a comment reply with no likes. It would be worth pointing out that if you look in my YouTube comments, you will find literally hundreds of replies to my content. Like I'll have a video where I'm like pro BLM, and there will be replies about like the need to establish a white ethno state, and that's just YouTube comments for you. You know. Anyway, I acknowledge that comment's racist. Just lying about your moms. Oh my God, White Nervosa made it has 2,000 people. The hell is this? Wait, hold on.
One of the ways that Vosh and his community operate, it serves to control the narrative.
Why is he
by
hitting me with
outwardly
momentum
and
shots?
loudly condemning harassment when it is made public. I remember tweeting a screenshot of some harassment I received on Reddit DMs from a Vosh fan a while ago. Members of his community, like mods, immediately came in and sort of made a display of the fact that the person harassing me had been banned and that they didn't tolerate that type of stuff. And while I'm inclined to say that this is a good thing, that this is what is supposed to happen, at the same time, I can't help but wonder, why is this still up? Obviously, they know about it.
Uh-oh. Now, if anyone from Vosh's community is harassing me, please let me call them and I know. No matter any ill feelings or personal disrespect, drama, blah, blah, but the internet is crazy. We keep that seriously. And community-wide, stay comfy, hard. Is that it? Well, the point is that he never replied. That there's not actually like an earnest effort being made to alert them to anything. Now, of course, if he did say that to my mods, and my mods like asked me, like, hey, do you want to like bully a clip channel? I would say no, but at least then it would like go directly to me. You know? That was back from February. Wait, that was back from, the DM. Yeah, it was back from February. It would have been from way back. Ooh, I'm not Vosh's main mod. I only sent fucking avalanche of messages like somebody was bad shit. Oh my God. My goodness. Literally compared to Hitler by weirdo pro-social groups using offensive Wi-Fi. I love.
What? How did that not kill him? What the fuck?
And editing audio.
This is fucking ridiculous.
Anyway. This is back from February. Was this a talking point beforehand? It must have been from Professor Flowers or something.
Man,
Made
what?
Still up. I thought Vosh community cared a lot about stopping harassment from occurring. Wait, they do realize it's not my channel, right? I don't know if they understand they're asking me to impose my will on a clip channel. Okay. Okay. For what it's worth, I never even told White Nervosa to DM Noah Sampson. She just did it anyway because she's cool. Worse still, I even joined his Discord and he removed me from it? Jesus. Yeah, it definitely seems like an effort was made to maintain private communication with Noah Sampson for the purposes of moderating any bad behavior, and then rather than engage with that at any point, he would just like drop public shit. Damn. Well, that doesn't make it look too bad.
How many so-called leftists from his community have felt...
Oh, you done? Alright, thank you very much.
...any one of his orbiters to pile on to Professor Flowers? And how many of them are going to get away with it? How many of them will say years down the line, oh man, that Professor Flowers drama was really crazy, right guys? It was fun while it lasted though. Meanwhile... It was really crazy, right guys?
Never thought I'd say this, but I missed the Professor Flowers tanky drama, just longing for simpler days and dark times, I guess. I think this is just them saying that was better than the ContraPoints drama, right? 19 days ago. This probably would have been around the time we were burning the bridge with Contra. So it's just like, oh, that was easier drama to deal with.
Fun while it lasted though. Meanwhile, you know, 6
Oh yeah, it could be the fucking Ukraine war streams as well. Jesus.
months of racist harassment that almost resulted in Lua quitting YouTube and... Well, you know, 6 months of racist harassment that almost result...
Where? That's all I want to... I just want to know where. Like, it just gets said and taken for granted. And by the way, this is what enables harassment towards me. Because when you say Vosh facilitates an audience that leads campaigns of month-long racist harassment against POC, or WOC, or whatever. What that means, like in a practical sense, is that I and my community are racist, and that feeds into the excuses that other people feel they have when they dehumanize, attack, or make death threats against me. So this is what I mean by like the honesty of it all. Like in terms of like whether or not you're facilitating harassment, I don't think I'm gonna get an email inbox full of like Noah Samson stands attacking me directly, but this is just gonna be like another like brick in the wall, basically, contribute to that narrative. The context for that Professor Flowers drama was during the Demon Mama drama. Oh god, dude, we do so much fucking drama in this stream. Jesus Christ. Oh yeah, Demon Mama stuff. Okay, well, yeah,
In lieu of quitting YouTube and worse. And that just really doesn't sit right with me, you know? And I hope it doesn't with you either. I hope this causes you to wonder, like, hey, why does stuff like this only seem to be a problem when people shine a spotlight on it? Are we okay with this sort of deferential treatment for marginalized creators just because it's been greenlit from the top? These are things that I feel like we should be thinking about, but I don't know. I don't know anything, actually, so don't listen to me. So time has passed, right? And as I said, things have mostly calmed down for me, but I still wanted to speak on this experience, not just because it has been exhausting, but really because I know I haven't seen anywhere close to the worst of it, and that genuinely worries me. It worries me for the people that may experience this without the protections that I'm afforded, or without the support base of being somewhat established as a content creator. It saddens me for the people who have already gone through it, people who I know are just trying to do good, with the odds stacked against them, and being nearly driven off of the platform because of it. I really don't want to see that.
Okay. At the end of the day, here's the issue. We will never be able to move forward on this if Noah Samson takes the people who hate me at their word when they describe, without evidence, the nature of my community's behavior. Like, I'm not taking at my word, of course. You know, any claims I make about them, I substantiate with every bit of proof I can. But when they make claims about me, like Cat Black saying I'm literally the most like racist thing she's dealt with ever or whatever, like, okay, like that just gets accepted at the face of it. And I understand that this makes me sound like I'm some kind of wannabe Cypher guy from the Matrix revealing the truth, or what, you know, not Morpheus, Cypher was the bad guy, whatever. But like, you can't just trust narratives because they come from people who belong to marginalized groups. It is an actual kind of bigotry of low expectations. The fact of the matter is, especially when you deal with the clout brains that make it to the top in these fields, YouTube, Twitch, whatever, the majority of the people on here who do politics fucking suck. They are politically reprehensible or personally reprehensible. Like, that's broadly. I mean, right, left, center, it doesn't matter. Like, just everyone, you know? And at the very least, I would ask that people take a degree of, like, skepticism at hand when they're hearing claims like, Vosh's community subjected me to more racism than my white conservative upbringing. I want people to read that and think like, okay, well, maybe I should look into this a little bit further. But unfortunately, and again, I know I'm proselytizing here, but unfortunately, the narrative of listen to victims or listen to the marginalized, you know, that sentiment has really kind of transformed into, I guess I'll just say this, okay? You know the term, like, believe women, or like believe rape victims or whatever? If you look into the origins of that phrase and how it was used, it doesn't literally mean it, like always believe no matter what, because that would be really stupid. What it means is like hear them out and give them deference and respect, because that's the best you can ever offer in any kind of contentious or heated or socially biased situation. There is no group of people who will always be correct, obviously, you know, but obviously there are people whose voices are trampled over more often, like women, or black people, or trans people. And I think those people should be given a deferential ear. You should be willing to listen a little more carefully. The problem that I have, and I'm literally just echoing what Contra said in her video on cancellation, is that people will say you need to listen to marginalized voices, when what they mean is you may not disagree with marginalized voices. And it runs up against that all the time. And it did when Natalie tweeted at me, because that's essentially what she did.
Fun while it lasted, though. Meanwhile, you know, 6
Oh yeah, it could be the fucking Ukraine war stream as well. Jesus.
months of racist harassment that almost resulted in Lua quitting YouTube. And well, you know, 6 months of racist harassment that almost resulted.
Where? That's all I want to. I just want to know where. Like it just gets said and taken for granted. And by the way, this is what enables harassment towards me. Because when you say Vosh facilitates an audience that leads campaigns of month-long racist harassment against POC, or WOC, or whatever, what that means, like in a practical sense, is that I and my community are racist, and that feeds into the excuses that other people feel they have when they dehumanize, attack, or make death threats against me. So this is what I mean by like the honesty of it all. Like in terms of like whether or not you're facilitating harassment, I don't think I'm gonna get an email inbox full of like Noah Samson stands attacking me directly, but this is just gonna be like another like brick in the wall, basically, in tribute to that narrative. The context for that Professor Flowers drama was during the Demon Mama drama. Oh god, dude, we do so much fucking drama this week. Jesus Christ.
What
Oh,
the
yeah,
fuck
Demon
are these
Mama.
point of these little platforms? There's not even bosses in there.
YouTube and
The
worse.
fuck is
And
the
that just really
point?
doesn't sit right with me, you know? And I hope it doesn't with you either. I hope this causes you to wonder, like, hey, why does stuff like this only seem to be a problem when people shine a spotlight on it? Are we okay with this sort of deferential treatment for marginalized creators just because it's been greenlit?
So is
from the
these
top?
same
These are
assholes
things
hanging
that I
out.
feel like we
Give
should
me a
be
fucking
thinking
snake
about.
boss.
But I don't know anything actually. So don't listen to me. So time has passed, right? And as I said, things have mostly calmed down for me, but I still wanted to speak on this experience, not just because it has been exhausting, but really because I know I haven't seen anywhere close to the worst of it, and that genuinely worries me. It worries me for the people that may experience this without the protections that I'm afforded, or without the support base of being somewhat established as a content creator. It saddens me for the people who have already gone through it, people who I know are just trying to do good, with the odds stacked against them, and being nearly
What do
driven
you
off
mean
the
the
platform
gauntlet
because
is
of it. I
calling
really
for
don't
more
wanna see
essence
Okay.
stones? We've collected
at
every
the end of the
single
day, here's
fucking
the
thing we
issue.
need in the game. We've
We will
completed
never
the
be able to
game.
move forward on this.
Everything. Literally
Noah
everything.
Samson
What the fuck are you talking about?
Takes the people who hate me at their word when they describe, without evidence, the nature of my
Literally
community's behavior.
nothing.
Like, I'm not taking at my word, of course. You know, any claims I make about them, I substantiate with every bit of proof I can.
Did they
But
just
when they make
expect me
claims
to
about me,
100% the achievements
like
on my
Cat
first
Black
run?
saying I'm literally the most like racist thing she's dealt with ever or whatever. Like, okay, like that just gets accepted at the face of it. And I understand that this makes me sound like I'm some kind of wannabe Cypher guy from the Matrix revealing the truth, or what, you know, what, not Morpheus. Cypher was the bad guy, whatever. But like, you can't just trust narratives because they come from people who belong to marginalized groups. It is an actual kind of bigotry of low expectations. The fact of the matter is, especially when you deal with the clout brains that make it to the top in these fields, YouTube, Twitch, whatever, the majority of the people on here who do politics fucking suck. They are politically reprehensible or personally reprehensible. I'm so, like, that's broadly. I mean, right, left, center. It like doesn't matter. It's everywhere, you know. And at the very least, I would ask that people take
Nothing.
a degree of like skepticism
Just
at
a
hand when they're
cool slide into
hearing
nothing.
claims like
Great.
Vosh's
Perfect.
community subjected me to more racism than my white
What should we put
conservative
there?
upbringing.
Nothing.
I
Do you
I
think
want
we
people
should
to read
put
that
some
and think,
monsters
like,
to respond, or maybe
okay,
like a horde
well, maybe
mode
I
or a
should look
challenge
into this a
mode
little
where
bit
you can
further. But
fight wraiths
unfortunately,
one
and
after
again,
the
I know
other
I'm
and test your skills?
proselytizing here,
Nope.
but unfortunately,
Just nothing.
the narrative of listen to
Do you
victims
think
or
maybe
listen
we
to
could at least
marginalized sentiment
get
has
some extra
really
end game
kind of
activities,
transformed
maybe a new game
into-
plus?
I
You know,
guess
so
I'll just
players
say
can
this,
kill
okay?
wraiths and get
You
their
know-
cheap. Nope. No new game
you know
plus.
like
Just end the
believe
game.
women, or like believe rape
Just
victims
stop
or
it.
whatever? If you look into the origins of that phrase,
Maybe we should
and how it was used,
respawn the elite foes.
it doesn't
so the players
literally
can
mean it,
go back
like,
in the world
always
and
believe
fight
no
some
matter what, because that would
fight
be
all
really
the bosses
stupid.
again. That they nope.
What it means is
They don't
like,
need to do that.
Hear them out and give
They're
them
good.
deference and respect, because that's the best you can
Just
ever
an empty
offer
desert,
any kind
sir.
of contentious or heated or
Yep.
socially biased situation.
Gamers like that. They like
There is
doing
no group
nothing.
of people who will always be correct, obviously, you know, but
Truly
obviously there are
delusional
people
game design.
whose voices are trampled
Fucking
upon more often,
delusional.
like women,
Delusional.
black people,
It's
trans
either
people.
delusional
And I
or
think those people
just
should be given a
stupidity.
deferential ear. You should be willing to listen a little more carefully. The problem that I have, and I'm literally just echoing what Contra said in her video on cancellation, is that people will say you need to listen to marginalized voices, when what they mean is you may not disagree with marginalized voices. And it runs up against that all the time. And it did when Natalie tweeted at me, because that's essentially what she did with me as well. She said that I wasn't doing enough to listen to the marginalized people who disagreed, but then she admitted she didn't know my argument, which means she couldn't possibly know whether I was right or wrong. So that argument was a lie. It wasn't about listening, it was about agreeing.
What the fuck?
And that's the issue that I take, ultimately. But this is a feedback loop, because the more I make an effort
Great
to
camera angles for the
listen,
shatter. It
but
looks so
nonetheless
cool.
adhere to beliefs that I feel
So
have the best
cool.
evidence for them, the more the narrative that I don't listen is going to grow. And the more that narrative grows, the more people like Cat Black or Professor Flowers will capitalize on that reputation I have to paint the image of me as some kind of, you know, like chauvinistic, like unwilling. Like, I just want to be clear. Almost all of my political positions are informed by a deferential empathy towards marginalized people. Okay? I did not get through my freshman year of college like reading the assassination of Fred Hampton and getting really into the politics of the Black Panther Party without forming something of a deferential ear towards their perspective on politics. Okay? My community and my friend group are full of trans people, and my God, everything I have ever said about trans people and trans issues has been filtered through a dozen conversations that I had with my college friends, who are aggressively trans, or gay, or both, usually both. All my perspectives on land back have been most recently informed by a direct conversation with an indigenous activist. My positions on economics and capitalism are born, at least in part, out of the empathy that I have for all the fucking poor kids from Koreatown who I would hang out with as friends of friends, and like at the end of the day when the sun was setting over Los Angeles, they would go back to their like cockroach infested slum, and I would go back to Beverly Drive. Like, throughout my entire life, the political positions that I hold have been informed by the empathy that I feel towards people less socially fortunate than me, you know. And
Well, love
by
you, Bosch.
the way, that whole road,
He
that
gets
whole
it.
like journey, most of the people I'm referring to, who I learned from, were wrong about a lot of stuff. Like, being poor didn't intrinsically make them experts in capitalism. Being trans didn't intrinsically make them experts
Was that a
in
boss up
gender.
there?
Well, actually,
No,
the
it's a
Black
big
Panthers
rock.
Were,
Of course, why would I don't want to fight a boss.
Racial
I just like
relations.
looking at stuff,
The point
skating
is,
for
like,
nothing.
You can have a strong principled approach towards forming your own positions, and you can also have a deferential ear. And I think I balance those things, even if it's not always apparent, because I'm not interested in virtue signaling and like dragging like a highly.
At least I
diverse
got all the other
cavalcade of
achievements.
marginalized people
This
on
last
screen
one
to
though, I
vet
don't
and
think
refine every
this
position
game
they
isn't
have
worth
so
it.
that sake
game
of
is not
kind of,
worth
like,
the
performative
last
deference,
achievement.
You know, like I have those conversations.
It's almost
I'm not gonna
disrespectful
play
that
it
I
over here. You know,
that I
but my
refuse to get the
positions on
last
trans issues
achievement.
have been informed.
It's almost disrespect. Yeah, because fuck them. I'm gonna go save my game just in case I ever decide to come back, or they ever update the game and make getting the 100% easier. But I highly doubt that. Oh, need an anvil. And it's all the fucking way on top there. Genius. Wait, no? It's close. It's on the stairs. Yeah, Jesus Christ. This game was such a fucking disappointment. The combat was pretty decent. But it's just way too fucking janky. Going inside the goddamn bosses, the camera angles are really fucking up. You're trying to attack the arm, but you keep smashing it back, and then your character is just missing every attack because the arm is behind the enemy, and he's like attacking the leg. This game fucking sucks, man. Kill 50 wraiths using shatter. They didn't even program the stat tracking so I can know how many wraiths I have left to kill. Yeah, no, they didn't even use the stat tracking. Just 4.6% of players earned. Thanks. Thanks. What a piece of shit. What games do I have that I haven't 100%ed? Can I put my trophies as like a main tab? I want to do that. Yeah, Remnant 2, that was some fucking dog shit. Exo Primal. I still need that last trophy. Kill, something. 100,000 dinos. Rocket League, Code Vein. And Code Vein was kind of boring. I might get Code Vein again, I don't know. Armored Core comes out. Oh nah, Dead Island 2, that was such a piece of shit. Resident Evil 4, that was pretty good, but the New Game Plus was annoying. I didn't feel like going back for my the other trophies. Because if you completed a chapter, that was it. You can't go back. And I missed one. Yeah, obtain all the treasures on the island treasure map in a single playthrough. Yeah, I missed one treasure and I accidentally completed the mission, loaded me to the next chapter. I couldn't go back, so I would have to complete the entire game and get back, or restart the entire chapter, which I was not gonna fucking do. What was this? Oh yeah, throw a grenade into his mouth. I don't know why I couldn't get that. Kept trying it, didn't work. Maybe my aim sucks, not good.
By
Jedi
probably
Fallen
at this point
Order.
thousands of
I don't know
convos
why I
and
didn't like that.
people, friends, you know, that I've had like for a long period of time.
I don't
I'm not
like the
going to
Star
go,
Wars
like,
Souls
okay, well,
shit.
My audience needs to know my positions have been informed by this. Let me bring a trans person on to like act out.
Get another game, Wo Long Fallen
I won't
Dynasty,
do
with
that.
shit
I will
ass
never do that.
replayability.
So that's
No,
it,
like,
you know,
trackers to
and
help
if we
me.
can't move past
keep track of
we can't
the.
move
I was supposed
past,
to collect
that-
like medical.
Well, that definitely.
Yeah, give a certain someone the maximum amount of golden cicada
cells.
cells.
Claims to my harassment are believed, but my claims about.
There's no way to
related
track
things
cicada
aren't,
cells,
and,
which
you know,
ones you
it's
collected,
just
which ones
gonna
you
be like a
haven't.
cyclical issue.
Fed all the Shih Tzu. Again, the Shih Tzu, I was so close. But there's
that
no
happen to
trackers to
anyone,
see which
and
ones you've
regardless
gotten
of
and
your
which ones you
opinions of
haven't.
Any of the people that I mentioned here, I hope you can
Same with
understand
here.
where I'm coming from.
Don't know
when I
which
say that.
levels
This video
I've
is not a
collected.
personal attack on any of the
All
creators that I've
tablets
mentioned.
out.
All of this
Fuck
does
that.
stem from my concern over mistreatment in online spaces, and thus mistreatment in any
Fun
form.
and dead.
My name is
Dead Space.
Okay, don't do it. Don't be.
Oh, in
Black
impossible
Panthers didn't have
mode.
that
Yeah,
knowledge
how is
because
I'm not
Black
gonna do that
Panthers
shit.
did a lot of work in
Fuck
studying
that.
the knowledge. Oh yeah, of course. Being born black does not instantly give you a Black Panther level foundational understanding of race relations. They had to work to get where they were. You know.
I have Cyberpunk.
Be little freaks, okay? Okay, well, be little freaks, not that.
Why do I have
But yeah, that's
Cyberpunk?
pretty
Do
much
I?
All I wanted to say. Thanks again to Casetify for sponsoring this video. Go to casetify.com.
I got you. All right, what's the comment section?
I do.
We're talking about.
Why do I have this game?
There's Cat Black. Oh my God! I don't know why she does this. I am not reading this. You can read it if you want. I'm not. I'm not. I'm
Oh
sorry.
my
I'll
God.
skim the first sentence of every. A huge issue I felt with this was that Vosh felt identical to all the white men who were speaking about racism back in my content.
Oh my God.
Okay. I only said what I said after Vosh went on. this
That
whole
is
tirade about how I'm obsessed
nuts.
with white men. I think Cat Black has gone on a few tirades about how she's obsessed with white men before, so you know it's, yeah, it's just whatever.
Damn, I gotta catch up on the Vosh and FD Signifier beef. On the Vosh and Cat Black beef.
Okay. So much for.
I'll do one at a
for
time.
apologizing and me not, I guess. I really want to believe that Vosh is better than I thought. I made the mistake of believing that because someone calls themselves a leftist, they're less racist, less transphobic. I hate to say it, but it's very true. I've absolutely.
Exo Primal is in
experienced
maintenance
racist
right
treatment
now.
from left-leaning white people than conservatives. This is literally the Candace Owens argument. This is legitimately, actually. Okay. Yep. Whatever. Vadim with a neutral comment.
Seizure
Save
warning's
yourself
not that
from
bad in
awkward
this game.
conversation.
Or the epileptic effects. I think maybe during some of the special missions.
Oh, hello, FD6.
Or you fight the big Gundam, or
neutral comment.
fucking Leviathan starts glitching out.
I'm surprised PF isn't here.
Alright, give me some alpha variants.
Ego is, which alone is enough for me to
Oh
justify
fuck,
the
man.
because This man cannot even imagine a universe in which he has a wrong opinion. People with low self-esteem.
Do we have
use this
alpha
state of
variants yet?
confidence for arrogance. But
Deadeye.
every position that I hold, I'm open to talk about,
Trust
and I
to
always
be.
supplement my positions with all the arguments that I can. I do not believe things unduly.
No
honest to
alpha
God, if people
variants
wanna deflate
just
my
yet.
ego, stop making
On the
bad arguments
16th.
Makes it a lot easier for me to feel good about myself, and that's the kind of stuff that
I don't feel like play this shit right now. It's fucking
Yeah.
trash ass PvE.
Alright.
They're gonna release the alpha variants with no new game modes. And no Savage Gauntlet, probably.
Very good.
Just play that in the regular PvE mode so they can fucking collect their data. Pay goddamn $60 for a goddamn fucking beta test. God damn it. Play a quick round of Rocket League.
Yeah. I know about the new FD Signifier video. The anti. Once
Hold
again.
up.
we're
I gotta
proving-
see. I gotta see the Vosh Cat Black.
And I'm sure people will attack me for even watching this video. What a coward!
This video case to 5. If you like having into quitting YouTube altogether. I mentioned before how Vosh offered me a cash bounty of double.
The problem with Noah's opinion on this is that in his original video, he sent a brigade against Neanderthals channel. I'm sure if he did that, he will probably address it, or rather say that this is something that I've done as well, and that it's a wrong.
Using ironic bravado, or I have since realized that it did happen here. Now, here one might object, well, Noah, you went onto the debate stream and you were conciliatory. You didn't argue for your positions well, and you backtracked enough points that if people got the impression that you don't believe what you said in your video, can you really blame them? And initially, I actually agreed with this point. I was like, you know, yeah, I guess this is just kind of what happens when you go on debate streams, especially if you go on unprepared and unseasoned in the art of debate, as I was and still am. I'm not coming back on, guys, so don't ask. I should have known better than to go on that stream. Ultimately, this might be my fault, or so I thought. When I actually took a step back, though, and thought about it, and then watched the debate a few more times, I realized that no, that's bullshit. People should not be allowed to lie about stuff just because I didn't go full debate lord in the debate realm. That should not be standard procedure. I entered that conversation attempting to seek understanding. I felt bad, frankly, after seeing how poorly my
Guys, stop. Like, listen. You're literally forgetting the main point of this video. The video hyper focuses on Vosh because that is Noah's experience with Vosh. But you're literally doing the thing that I'm fucking annoyed by, which is using this as an opportunity to just be like, Vosh sucks ass, dude, fuck Vosh. Vosh is terrible, blah, blah, blah. Listen, stop feeding into the toxicity, okay? You're doing the thing that, like, I am fucking annoyed by.
I really want to see the... There's no, like, chronological Vosh versus Cat Black. Is there chapters? Nope, I'm out.
Just like general charity stuff, you know, thanking me for what I did. And I realized two things while looking at that. First, I never really got much credit for that, which again, I don't do it for the credit, but it's just weird because after the PCRF stream, like, you know, it felt like it defined the positivity in the community for a while. It was like a good rallying cry, I guess, for good stuff here. But obviously,
There's a lot here. Where do we start? Can we search videos on Vosh's channel? Yeah, stream VODs.
all right, we gotta hit the.
What the fuck? Oh, he has it in a playlist so you can see it. It's not on his... Yeah, it's not on his live. But he has it in a playlist. Nice. Oh, shit. Man, where is... I can't search. Oh, I can. What is this ContraPoints coming up every time I type in Cat Black? Let's just watch this.
Don't burn bridges with Contra, she's hot Vosh. That's not the reason why we burn or don't burn bridges. Also, I never burn bridges, okay? I don't burn bridges.
What?
I'm just waiting for the response from that person. Ugh, they're not going to respond. Whatever. Why do I bother? Why do I even bother talking to chat? There we go. What's the drum?
Oh, here we got chapters. Nice, nice.
It's the cat. What the hell is going on? Oh, right. I'm so sorry. Not all of you follow my Twitter feed.
Twitter drama.
The basic
Vosh
gist of it.
left,
Okay. The funny thing
DMs.
is, yeah, I'm standing my ground. Congrats on 400K. Enjoy it while it's there. I'll not online enough to really feel impacted by it personally. That's the opening that I got. Of course, it's about you. But it's how I feel, and it's just...
Damn it, where the fuck? Who's this Contra? This is just Cat. Blair White. Professor Flowers. Vosh talks Cat Black drama and burning the bridge.
Hi guys, it's Kat. I wanted to talk to you guys about something because I've got some shit on my mind and I'm in the headspace of making changes, and I feel like
Alright, I'll watch somebody break it down. Who is this? Aristocracy. Alright, let's see. VTuber.
I don't understand. Why are you trying to dehumanize him like this if you don't like the guy? You know how many people I've disliked online? I've disliked other streamers. There's plenty of people. I totally get. You don't have to like Vosh.
Not to be a dickhead, but it does seem like Vosh is in the right. I kind of want to see an opposing perspective. Or just something... Thermia?
Cat Black was the biggest drama that you had. Was the Cat
Okay.
Black drama?
So I'm looking for more black content creators speaking on this, but I don't think I'll find anything really. Guess it was just like some small community beef. Reacting to Cat Black, digging herself deeper. Who is Xander Hall? I've heard his name mentioned a bunch of times.
you know, back then at like
Oh God.
this particular
Oh
time
God.
in the timeline, and I laugh at this because it's like I feel the opposite now. Overtly leftist, openly pansexual, shortcomings, and then find ways in which.
Cat Black is doing a live stream about Vosh right now. You're not fucking with me, are you? You're not fucking with me, are you? Oh my god. Ask me anything about Vosh.
You know, I'm supposed to applaud you for leftist.
Me anything about Vosh.
You know, I'm supposed to applaud you for leftist coalition building. But as a person on the left, who would
Oh
like
my
to,
God.
at least at the time, you know, be in community with you when it's clear that racism isn't like a line that you draw. And that's kind of how I felt about this whole sort of ironic misogyny thing, right? For me, when I see somebody citing misogyny against a person that they dislike, that tells me that there's a certain degree at which they would do it to me, right? If misogyny is okay with the people that you disagree with, how am I supposed to believe that you're invested in fighting?
God, the point really did just fly miles.
Interesting.
I don't understand.
start with
Why
this
are you
one.
trying to dehumanize him like this if you don't like the guy? You know how many people I've disliked online? I've disliked other streamers. There's plenty of people. I totally get. You don't have to like Vosh. I think there's plenty of valid reasons for people to dislike Vosh, right? But why do you want to just dehumanize him? Video, and I streamed before about like the kind of the Vosh drama. And I had like a mixed response. Like a lot of people felt like my response to it was nuanced. They appreciated the perspective and all that. And some people felt like I was being a radical centrist. And so I kind of want to like address that criticism because I understand it, and I think some of it is valid. And I'm also gonna kind of follow up because since I did that stream and since I did that video, I've actually read the private DMs because that stream, when I covered that drama, it was just about what I saw on Twitter. And I'd read all the Twitter messages, I hadn't read the private DMs, and the DMs actually changed some things for me. Now, my initial, if you didn't see my initial video on this, when I